degrees out, and if it's over 15 years old, you're wasting your money. Get a new high-efficiency AC system right now from my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling. They are New Jersey's air conditioning experts and have been for decades. Take it from me. These guys have done plenty of work on my house. You'll save money and stay cooler. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
The latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
I hate you.
Tony Gallo.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM, WFAN.
Oh, that's right. It's your boy, Anthony Gallo, and I'm taking you all the way till 8 o'clock on an impromptu earlier show today for me as the Yankees get rained out. They try to get one in tomorrow, or we might be looking at a very exciting September back-to-back doubleheaders between the Yankees and the Rays. We got a lot to get to. The incredibly average Paul Rosenberg on the other side of the glass. I'm very excited about today. I was pumped to talk to you guys. We had a big Knicks game. Memorial Day's here. The summer, even though it doesn't feel like it, is right around the corner. But the dark cloud, and I'm not talking about the rain, that is New York football, continues to rain on everyone's parade. And this time, the Giants are the source of that frustration. And in the 3.5 years that I've been able to have the blessing of being on air in New York football has been my least favorite topic to talk about because it's been embarrassing. It's been an abject failure. It's been a lot of downs, no ups, and a lot of the ups are forced. And one of those ups is this narrative surrounding the Giants, which I have bought into. And I do think the Giants ultimately will be fine. But it has been a very weird start to the John Harbaugh era. And things that I once thought were a positive are starting to now feel like a negative. And this kind of predates John Harbaugh as well. But yesterday, obviously, we have the whole controversy surrounding Jaxson Dart introducing the president and Abdul Carter tweeting out his displeasure with that. And 3 young players on this Giants team, and I hate to lump in Cam Scadaboo, but he is a part of this. We have anointed this Giants team, and they've won nothing. They've literally won nothing. And we've anointed Jaxson Dart the face of the franchise, and Abdul Carter, this scary defensive player, and Cam Scadaboo has now turned into Jerome Bettis, and they've all done nothing. They've accomplished nothing. They've shown glimpses, very small glimpses of being good players. And John Harbaugh is now having to navigate the waters of what seems to be, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but a not great culture, a toxic culture that is surrounding this Giants team. Between Cam Scadaboo being on every live stream and putting his foot in his mouth as much as possible, a month, 2 weeks, whatever it was, after getting surgery, being involved in a WWE skit. Jaxson Dart being at every single event that invites him. And this is not really a political thing. It's just say no at some point. Because you know what's going to happen is if he struggles, we're going to eat him alive. Giant fans are going to eat him alive. All the Giant fans that love this guy are going to eat Jaxson Dart alive. Abdul Carter, who is terrible in his rookie season. And I still think all of these guys are incredibly talented. But talent doesn't guarantee you anything. I think the Giants have a bright future. But the things that you don't want to see happen, your star wide receiver criticizing draft decisions, your quarterback unable to stay out of the limelight when he's done nothing. He's played 12 games, and he's played good in about half of those games. Your star, young, budding pass rusher, Abdul Carter, who was supposed to be the can't-miss prospect of the previous draft, has done nothing. Your running back, who had one good game, has done nothing. And now all we ever do when we talk about these guys is this guy said that, or this guy was at that event, or this person put his foot in his mouth because he went on this live stream, or Malik Neighbors is criticizing the draft. Dexter Lawrence is demanding a trade away from the team. And the John Harbaugh era is starting to, we need to get to training camp because this is not the way that this crisply run franchise is supposed to operate. And John Harbaugh has, as for the majority of his career, avoided things like this. And maybe this is just him having to really lay it down. But with multiple opportunities to really put his foot down, he's gone the very Harbaugh-esque way, because his brother does this too. He's gone with the corny jokes and screwing up quotes and the rah-rah BS that he does. And I'm only calling it BS because it does nothing for me. If it works for him, it works for him. Malik Neighbors criticizes your draft. You don't say anything about it. Dexter Lawrence Xing for a trade. You don't really say anything about it. Your star quarterback and young running back, I don't want to call them stars, your young, potentially good players on your team continuously put their foots in their mouths. And even though Abdul Carter, a lot of what happened last year off the field was fabricated, whether it was the falling asleep in meetings or the what was on his laptop stuff, the Giants can't seem to get out of their own way. And they continuously do things like this. And yesterday, it's not that Jaxson Dart introduced the president. It's that he continuously cannot stay out of the limelight. And if he fails, if the Giants start 2-5 and he is very average or below average, I'm sorry, buddy. You're not the star you thought you were. We have perfect examples in this city of how to operate. I know Aaron Judge and Jalen Brunson haven't won anything, but these guys are people that, they know when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious. They're not operating as stars. Derek Jeter won a lot, so he was able to do what he did because he won a lot. Eli Manning, same thing. And these guys have stepped into this role, and it feels like they're already believing their own hype. For a lack of a better word, they love the smell of their own farts. And this is going to end badly if they do not start well. Because, yes, Giant fans are loving up on Jaxson Dart. Giant fans love them some Cam Scatterboo. Everybody loves John Harbaugh. But if this continues and they struggle, it's going to get ugly fast. 888-808-1019. And I don't think the issue of it, I do not like, I don't have a problem with Abdul Carter expressing himself, just like I don't have a problem with Jaxson Dart, believing in what he believes in, or being a part of a political event. I don't have a problem with that. It's the stuff that have led up to it. If this was the only time we saw Jaxson Dart in the public eye, I wouldn't have cared, truly. But he's everywhere. He's at every event. And he's not just at the event, he's loudly at the events. And I don't have a problem with Abdul Carter having a problem with it. What I have a problem with is him airing it out on social media. And maybe I'm getting to the point at 34 years old, which I know is not old, but maybe I am getting to the point that there is a generational disconnect. Because my first thought when I have an issue with somebody is not to go to social media and complain about it. And again, he's allowed to have his opinion. And if he already spoke to him, then fine. It would be weird that if he spoke to him and then doubled down on it by putting a tweet out. I also just believe that there's so much going on. And the Malik Neighbors thing, and in the individual moments, when Neighbors complained about the draft, I didn't really have too much of a problem about it. And when Dexter Lawrence got traded, I celebrated it. But now when you really start to look at the total picture of 6 months, whatever it is, 5 months, however many months John Harbaugh has actually been here, when you start to look at the totality of it, your best player on your team asked for a trade. You traded him. Your best offensive weapon, one of the best young wideouts in all of football, is criticizing your draft on live, well, not television, but live streaming, which is now, just as mainstream as cable. Your star running back gets hurt, and this is predating John Harbaugh. But this does not predate Joe Shane, does not predate the Giants. Your star running back, your young budding, star that we've just anointed, this amazing running back, is a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks removed from surgery, and he's a part of a WWE scripted skit. He's on every live stream, and he's a part of, controversial live streams, and not turning down events, putting his foot in his mouth, showing that he doesn't know math. your young, budding pass rusher is also another one who is not shy of the limelight, is not shy of putting his foot in his mouth. And I do think this is not the culture that we were promised when John Harbaugh got here. And I actually think the one good thing that happened this week was the extension of Joe Schoen, because it shows that, one, I think the talent evaluation of Joe Schoen hasn't been as bad. It hasn't been great, but it hasn't been as bad as Giants fans has made it out to be. But it shows there's a bit more cohesion in that front office than what was made to believe. Reports from whatever reporter you want to name, there was a few of them that reported it wasn't that way. And I actually thought that was a good thing. I didn't care that they dumped it right before a Knicks game. I still think, that news is out there. It's the NFL. You can't hide from the NFL. But then all of this continues to happen, and it's just the totality of it feels not great. And I joked with Paul Rosenberg, and we both were thinking the same thing before the show. This feels, and I'm not taking a shot at the Jets here because the Jets have not felt like this. Even in their struggles, the Jets have been bad. But even in their struggles, they have not felt like a circus. The Giants feel like a circus. And this is not just now. This is a few years of this. And John Harbaugh was supposed to correct that. And if we go into the season and this stuff continues, and I get it, some of you will say it's the nature of today, social media, the digital age. But if this continues and they struggle out the gate, this is not going to be a situation that Giant fans are going to put up with. Even the ones who have anointed Jaxson Dart the face of the franchise, have anointed Malik Neighbors, an elite wide receiver, and Cam Scatterbo is this bulldozing running back, and Abdul Carter has the potential to be an elite pass rusher in this league. And it's funny when you look on, not just in the league, but on this team, Brian Burns does not operate like Abdul Carter does. And he is one of, you could argue he might be the second best pass rusher in all of football. There are guys in this team that do not operate in this fashion. There are guys in the league, in this city, that do not operate in this fashion who are true superstars. We kill Jalen Brunson for the one little thing that he does, which is his podcast. And yet, there has been this almost grace that was given to Jaxson Dart, who has proven nothing. As much as I think the kid is talented, he's done nothing in the league. Some of his biggest claims to fame are him, playing well for 3 quarters before choking a game away or beating the Eagles. So much of Cam Scatterbo is just his big game against the Eagles. This is not what was promised in the John Harbaugh era. And we can look back on this in 3 months when we're fully in the grasp of the NFL season starting and training camp being in full swing, and we can all laugh about this, but right now it does not feel great. And I've seen less hyped up players crumble for far less. And starting with Jaxson Dart, all of the events, going to the Mammoths game and not being here for the introduction of the head coach and going to, the Kentucky, all these things, the Kentucky Derby, I don't know. Was he at the Met Gala? I'm sure he probably was. Could we write that off? He's at every event, UFC, front row, in the limelight. He loves the limelight. And I don't have a problem with that if you're good. And we don't know if I think he's good, but we do not know. I actually think all 3 of these kids, all 4, but I'm speaking more about the second-year players, but Malik Neighbors too. I think all these guys are very good. I think Abdul Carter and Malik Neighbors are elite talent. I think Jaxson Dart has the potential to be a very good quarterback, but it's a think. It's not a no. This was not Patrick Mahomes introducing the president. And even Patrick Mahomes, when he stepped on a football field, we knew he was a superstar. We didn't know beforehand, but the second he touched the football, we knew. I think Jaxson Dart is good. We do not know, and you don't either. We hope that Cam Scatterbo recovers from his injury and Malik Neighbors recover from their injuries and are as good as they were prior. Well, Malik Neighbors was elite. We know that, but will he come back? I think Abdul Carter is going to be a very good pass rusher in this league. It still has the potential to live up to all the draft hype. But this is a terrible start to this era. And I thought, I was here the night Dexter Lawrence got traded, and I was like, this is the start of the John Harbaugh era. This is where you lay your mark. And all of that is gone. And I'm not saying the players are walking all over him, but for a guy who went his entire tenure in Baltimore with very few controversies coming from, yes, Lamar Jackson is, one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league, one of the most exciting players in the league. And there were times he speaks that you listen and it might look negatively on the coach, but we did not have this much in his decade plus tenure in Baltimore that we've had in the, 5 months he's been here. And the difference also with Lamar Jackson is he's an MVP. Jaxson Dart is operating like he's won anything in this league. Cam Scadaboo, Abdul Carter, Malik Neighbors, all operating like they've done anything for an extended period of time in this league. And this is not a good reflection of the Giants, and it is not a good reflection of the head coach. I'm sorry, it is not. 888-808-1019. Kicking us off on the phones. Tyler in North Carolina. What's going on, Tyler?
I think we're overreacting. Look,
let's
we be happy anybody's
Are we
talking
overreacting?
about the Giants. Nobody cared about the Giants 2 years ago, a year ago. I mean, you couldn't
But
care less
why
if
are we
they-
caring?
if they did anything.
But Tyler, why are we caring about them right now? Is it anything good? Is any of this good?
A lot of things are good.
If the Jets,
Everything is good. The draft was good.
We don't know that, Tyler. You don't know that.
Well,
You don't know a single thing.
Did they play?
We don't know if Jaxson Dart's good. We don't know if the draft's good. We don't know if Abdul Carter's good. We don't know if Cam Scadaboo's good. We know nothing. Why? Because these guys have barely played. If this was the
When
Jets,
Jaxson Dart
we
was
would
in
be
last year,
piling
did he play
all
well?
over them. He played okay. He played okay. I like Jaxson Dart. He played okay.
Played okay
He played okay.
compared to what?
What are you comparing him to?
Compared to what?
Terrible quarterback play or to the NFL? Tyler, if this was the New York Jets, we would be laughing at them. We would be piling on their corpse. But for some reason, because it's the Giants, Jaxson Dart could go to every event
Let's see.
he wants.
All right. Let's just see when they get to camp what it looks like in camp.
Okay, let's see what happens week 1. Let's see what happens when the games are actually played. Can the Giants win something before we know? Can they win something? And I hate to be this guy because I've been fairly positive. I've tried to be, at least, fairly positive about both these teams' off seasons. But it's something. And I get it. The Giants get put in the Yankee class, even though they're not the Yankees. They get put in that Yankee class. And the Jets get put in the Met class. Like, that's kind of how we separate it. One's a laughing stock, one's not. But they're both the same. They're both possibly, over the last decade, the 2 worst franchises in football. And the Giants have done nothing. John Harbaugh, great hire. I love what they've done this offseason. I like what the Jets have done also this offseason. But it means nothing. Because if you get to the games and they stink, you, Tyler, I love you, Tyler, you will not call into the station and be positive. If the Giants start 1-5, if they're 2-6, and Jaxson Dart is not playing well, and Cam Scadaboo hasn't suited up yet, and Malik Neighbors hasn't suited up yet, and Abdul Carter has no sacks, you're not going to sit here and talk positively about them. And I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but you cannot sit here and tell me this is an overreaction. This is actually somebody who's been pretty positive about this team. But when you stack it all up, there's been a lot of off-field stuff that is talked about with the Giants, and it's not good. Your star player wanted out. Your next best player criticized the draft. Your 2 young quarterback, running back tandem have done everything but been involved with football this offseason. The head coach got announced. The quarterback wasn't there. If that was the Jets, we would be killing them. And you know what? We could just move it to any sport. If Mike Brown got hired and the stars of the Knicks weren't there, we would have killed it. If Aaron Boone had gotten fired this offseason and they brought in a new manager and Aaron Judge wasn't there, we would have killed him. But Jaxson Dart is already Eli Manning. He's Phil Simms. He can do no wrong to the Giant fan. I'm just saying, this can end very badly, very quickly for this Giants team. And I hope I'm wrong. I am dying for competent New York football in this market. Because I am not a Giants or Jets fan. Living in this market when these teams are terrible is putrid. And that's what they've been. Terrible. The Giants have been so bad that a couple of wins and a couple of good quarters from young players had Giants fans out of their mind. And I think the Giants are lining up nicely this year. I think the Jets are lining up nicely. I think they're both at different spots in their rebuild, but I think they're both lining up nicely to show progress. But a lot could get in the way of progress when the off-the-field noise is as loud as it's been for a New York Giants organization for most of my life did not operate like this. They haven't. And I've seen less swallow potentially good teams than this. Now, I don't ultimately think that there's going to be an issue in the locker room between Abdul Carter and Jaxson Dart or what took place yesterday. Because I don't think that actual singular event is controversial. What I think is controversial is the star quarterback doing everything, and I'm calling him a star. He's not a star. He's played 12 games. Half of those games he played good. He also hasn't proven to stay on the field. And that's probably the biggest common denominator out of three of these four guys. They haven't proven they can stay on the field. All I'm saying is I hope we get to training camp and we get to week 1 and we're in the season and we're not looking back on what we thought was a young, promising core and a head coach to bring stability to a once great franchise, and all of it was for naught. This should be an offseason that isn't clouded by stuff that doesn't have to do with football, but it hasn't been that. And I did think they had a good draft. A lot of people didn't like the way they went. I actually thought they had a great draft. I think trading Dexter Lawrence was a positive when you're setting a culture. But that means nothing when it feels like there is no culture there yet. And we're not talking about Aaron Glenn stepping into a locker room as a new head coach. We're talking about a Super Bowl winning head coach stepping into a locker room. And your crop of young players seems to be worried about everything but football. 888-808-1019. I'm good, right? I don't have to break, right? Ed in Guilford. What's going on, Edford?
Hey, my man. It's Ed from Guilford.
I know. I just combined Guilford and Ed, but what's going on, Ed?
That's okay. Hey, first of all, the last guy, I'm sorry, doesn't know his age from a hole in the wall, but that's okay. Look, I'm an way older Giant fan, which if you think about all the New York teams, most of the Giants have a huge contingency of folks my age. I go way back. My buddy used to run the press room back when LT played back in the day. But here's what I want to say. We're not a lot of the Giant fans don't know the social platforms that well. So I saw the Jaxson Dart stuff. I was not happy with him being a model going around to all these events, whatever the case may be. Number two, when Malik made that comment about the draft, he should keep his mouth shut. He only played 6 games. Right. And now what's shocking me outside of, Cam Scadaboo, who's probably got PSTDs or whatever you call it from getting hit too much, I didn't know this thing about Abdul Carter and our boy, our quarterback.
Well,
what did he do? What happened?
So what happened yesterday, he introduces the president, and Abdul Carter retweets it with that image and says, I thought this was AI. What are we doing? To that extent. Like,
what?
Essentially criticizing
that is not good. I don't care which side you're looking at.
100%.
You cannot do that.
Yeah. And Ed, this is not a political thing. I'm looking at this as a football fan, looking at what has taken place this offseason. It's not a singular event. It's multiple things.
Are you kidding me? Dude, this is blowing my mind. How does Harbaugh not put a stop on this? Be quiet, shut up, do something. I was so happy with everything, with the draft, with what's going on. I thought everything was going to be great. And now when this starts, this is a poison. This is not good. You're absolutely right. That is not good.
I appreciate the call, Ed. I'm sorry. And I'm not, I am somebody, again, I want to reiterate this. I actually like this Giants roster. I think Jaxson Dart is I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but is a young, talented quarterback that you should be excited about. Cam Scadaboo, I do think a lot of that's overblown, especially the way we view running backs, and he got hurt so early, and the style of running back he is, outside of Derrick Henry, we do not see long careers. I believe in Abdul Carter. I still believe in that potential. I think Malik Neighbors is elite. I like what they've built. But this is not great. And if this was another franchise, most Giant fans would be crushing them. Specifically the other franchise in town, which we pick apart every little thing they do. Rightfully so at times. And Jeff fans will tell you that. But if this was a green jersey and not a blue jersey, we would be eviscerating them. And you look at everything that's happened, they have done nothing. This is not just a Jaxson Dart thing. These players on this Giants team have accomplished nothing. Specifically in the Joe Shane era, but even long before that. But these young guys haven't even completed a full season. Abdul Carter played the most out of all these guys, and he struggled for the majority of the season. Jaxson Dart started 12 games. He played 14, but 2 of those were rushing attempts early in the season. Cam Scatterbull got hurt in, week 9? Malik Neighbors played 6 games last year. He's been very good, but he's been banged up. They've accomplished nothing. There's quarterbacks in the league that have gone to AFC title games that I am still sitting here asking myself, are they good enough? The quarterback of the team I root for in the Broncos, I'm not sure is the guy. But yet, in this market, we've somehow anointed Jaxson Dart the guy, which I hope he is. He's accomplished nothing. He's been everywhere and accomplished nothing. He's been to every event. He's been to more events than games played this year. So no, this is not a political thing. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on when it comes to that. I have no problem. I'm also pro, I think you should be allowed to express how you want to feel politically. I just am. These guys are humans. They should be allowed to have their own thing. But it's not about just yesterday's event. It's about the totality of what he's done since he's been here. It's about the totality of this entire Giants offseason. And even prior to that. And Harbaugh was supposed to change things. It feels like the same situation we were in with Brian Daboll. Guys are showing up to every event. Guys are saying what they want with no repercussion. Go win something. Go play more than 2 years in the league. Prove you belong. And I get it. These guys are a lot younger than I am, and they've grown up on this, and it's second nature. But you know what? You're not at Ole Miss anymore. You're not at Arizona State anymore. You're in New York. You're in the biggest market, media market, sports market in the country. And maybe this is on the Giants PR staff for not filling these guys in. The head coach is supposed to come in here and change things, and it doesn't feel like that. 888-808-1019. Frank and Colonia, what's going on, Frank?
How you doing? So I'll make it similar to me being a Met fan, and I'm not comfortable this year, and I'm not excited for the Mets.
Wow.
I don't care about your
Frank,
political. I don't care about your political opinions. If you're a salesperson that sells cars, you get paid to sell cars. Your job is to hit home runs, to throw touchdowns. And I got to be honest with you, even Abdul Carter, you haven't done anything yet. We don't care. I'm a season ticket holder. I want to see touchdowns. I don't want to see you jumping off sides anymore. It made me bitter as a Met fan about this political division in the clubhouse. Like, I need to know that Francisco Lindor votes a certain way and Pete Alonso voted another one, and there was arguments in the dugout. I shouldn't care about that because I don't. But it made me bitter as a Met fan to think that it wasn't even controlled then. Now it's happening here. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Sam, Dart has not accomplished anything. Neither one of them have.
None of them have. None of these guys have accomplished anything. Scatterbull, Dart, Carter, Neighbors. They've accomplished nothing.
I'm paying for parking not to know who you voted for. And I'm into politics. Trust me, the last thing I'm going to do is get into it, and that's no offense to you. I'm calling up a sports talk radio show to talk about sports athletes talking about politics. And you don't even know half of what you're talking about to begin with when you're talking about politics. Both of them.
Right.
I don't even know what.
They're kids.
You know, like.
But also, none of that even matters. And I appreciate the call, Frank. None of that even matters None of that matters. And I also truly believe, and he wants to bring up the Mets, I truly believe that stuff does not permeate the locker rooms like we think. Maybe families, which a lot of it with the Mets was family, wives stuff. I don't think, my issue is not, it could be an issue. 100% could be an issue. My issue is not what potentially could happen in the locker room. My issue is that there seems to be no adult in the room with the Giants. For a group that has accomplished nothing, for young players that have accomplished nothing, for Jaxson Dart, which realistically a lot of the hype came from the wins against the Chargers and the Eagles and a half of football against the Broncos. And Cam Scadaboo, which came from a very good performance against the Eagles and then got hurt, obviously 2 weeks later, and it meant nothing. And Abdul Carter, who has accomplished nothing. And Malik Neighbors, who out of all of them is the most accomplished because he is proven to be an elite talent, but also has accomplished nothing in the ways of winning. And this is where we end up. We can't even, the draft was so short-lived because we're talking about what these guys are doing and saying more than what's being done. I thought when I was thinking ahead of what am I going to do for the show and all that stuff, and clearly Knicks, and we will get into the Knicks, believe me. We got a lot to be excited about the Knicks. And I will calm the Yankee fan down as well. But I looked ahead to this show, and I'm thinking, all right, we'll talk a little bit of the Joe Shane stuff. And finally, we could get back to a little bit of the football conversation because I always love to talk football. But then, of course, the circus surrounding both of these franchises in this city. And this has been more the Giants than the Jets. Continues. The Jets, most of the complaints have been about on the field and roster construction. For the Giants, the complaints have been both. And now it's been so loudly about things that don't have to do with football. I thought I was escaping the negative in this market. The Mets are playing right now, so I didn't have to dive too deeply into them. And we'll get into the Mets maybe a little bit later. And then New York football rears its head. The Giants rear their head and got to pull a dark cloud over what should be a very exciting sports day. And we'll get more into this. We got a lot to get to. The Knicks tip it off at 8. Get ready. 2 wins away from an NBA Finals appearance. The Yankees, yes, I know they lost last night, but there has to be, I know Yankee fans are all doom and gloom right now, but your ace came back last night and pitched well. Was able to pitch well and not look like he had 100% of his stuff yet against the team that you're looking to be your biggest competition in the American League. I thought there was a lot to be excited with there. But yet here is New York football. We got a lot more to get into on the other side of the glass. We'll dive deeper into this and then maybe get into some other issues about the Giants that we're not even talking about that actually have to do with football. 888-808-1019. Anthony Gallo on the Fan.
The place to be for everything New York Knicks is the place the Knicks voices speak.
We're hanging out with Knicks legend Walt Clyde Frazier.
Brunson, he's the guy. Mr. Clutch. So down the stretch, he's going to have the ball.
Those who know.
Mr. John Starks.
They've been incredibly locked in. Everybody is clicking on all cylinders. They can win it all.
Carmelo Anthony.
This was a team that was trying to figure out who they were as a team with the lineups. They were trying to figure out offensive systems. They were trying to get Mike Brown. Everybody was trying to figure it out.
You want Knicks? Why go anywhere else?
Mr. James Dolan live in studio.
You have to be patient. The team has to gel together. They have to see that they can win. They have to believe in themselves.
Your home for New York sports is WFAN.
The pros know nobody beats FW Web. With extensive inventory, personalized service, and a fleet of trucks across the Northeast, FW Web supports all customers, from one-van contractors to large facility operators. For planned projects, emergency jobs, or maintenance, FW Web has what you need, when and where you need it. For plumbing, heating, HVAC, refrigeration, propane gas, and PVF jobs. With over 100 locations, visit FWWeb.com to find one near you.
What an an atmosphere tonight. The stands are packed. Down here, two fans side by side, both holding a Heineken. Promising start. The chant begins. Listen to that. Perfect sync. Corner coming in. They lean forward together and goal! Arms up. They cheers. Wait, that's a hug. That's a hug. Let's check the replay. Yes, two strangers at kickoff. Friends by full time.
Fans have more friends. Find yours in the stands. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
HSS is ranked number 1 in orthopedics for 16 years in a row now, according to U.S. News and World Report, and is the official hospital of the New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, and New York Liberty. When you choose HSS, you're receiving the best orthopedic care you can get. Basketball requires speed, agility, and precision, and their specialists understand the demands of the game, providing expert care to help you recover and return to the court, whether it's a recreational league or professional arena. Most major insurance plans are accepted. Learn more or make an appointment at hss.edu.
Hi, this is John Starks. At John Starks Kia, we don't play games. No gimmicks, no tricks, no hidden fees, no surprises. Score our John Starks special this month. A Kia Sportage for just $333 a month with just $3 due at signing. That's right, all threes. It's my favorite number. What we say is what it is, period. See you at John Starks Kia in Queens.
36-month lease excludes tax, title, and MV fees. No security deposit required. 10,000 miles per year. Expires June 1st.
Spring is winding down, but pest season is just getting started. Mosquitoes, ticks, ants, and wildlife are becoming more active across the greater New York area as summer temperatures rise. Enjoy your summer, not the pests. JP McHale Pest Management helps protect your home, family, pets, employees, and customers all season long. With local offices in the New York metropolitan area, their local experts are ready with seasonal residential savings and free commercial inspections. Visit nopests.com. That's NOPESTS.com. JP McHale Pest Management, not just good, guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Summer's a gift. The gift of days that last a little longer. A brighter state of mind. So gift yourself a new Kia at the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. With specially tagged vehicles including the Sorrento, Sportage, Carnival, as well as the Niro Hybrid. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So the gift of summer can keep on giving for summers to come. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safe for event and 6126. See dealer for warranty details.
I'm Tyler Kolek, and I got my Lincoln right here at Lincoln of Queens. Smooth ride, no hassle. They even delivered it right to my door. When it's time to save, it's time to go to Lincoln of Queens. It's our employee pricing sale. You pay what we pay. Lease a 26 Nautilus for $563 a month.
36-month lease requires $58.20 due at signing. Excludes tax, title, and MV fees. See dealer for details. Expires July 6th.
Lincoln of Queens, where Queens goes. Go New York, go New York, go.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Whether you root for the Mets, Yanks, or another squad, there's one destination every baseball fan needs to hit. The MLB flagship store in the heart of Midtown, featuring gear from your favorite team. Whether you're customizing a jersey or finding the perfect fit at our unrivaled wall of caps, they're your ultimate baseball headquarters. Score the latest limited edition drops, browse our bobblehead collection, and shop the massive vault of Topps trading cards. The spirit of the game vibes all year long at the MLB flagship store at 6th Avenue and 51st Street. MLB trademarks used with permission.
MSC Cruises Memorial Day sale is here. For a limited time, get up to 40% off cruises plus kid sale free. Experience MSC Cruises' signature blend of European style and American comfort, from global flavors to Broadway-style shows and more. Book your next holiday to must-see destinations like the Caribbean, Alaska, and beyond. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
I'm Barry Colstein. I am a violin maker. Precision is part of my profession. 5 years ago, when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I chose CyberKnife. CyberKnife only hit the tissue that was affected by the cancer. Treatment was 5 days, virtually no side effects. I'm healthy, and I'm basically cured.
For an appointment, call NYU Langone's Perlmutter Cancer Center at 833-1-CYBER. That's 833-ONECYBR.
For year-round home comfort and energy savings, you need the best HVAC system and service. That's why you need to go with Petro. Right now, Petro has an offer for a new energy-efficient central AC system from America's most trusted brand, Trane, with $0 down and low monthly payments. For expert AC tune-ups and 24/7 emergency repairs, go with your local HVAC pros. Go with Petro. Go to petro.com, call 844-HVAC-4YOU or 844-482-2496 today.
The Travelers Championship. This is where greatness locks in, where the winds hit harder. For 4 perfect days in June, see returning champion Keegan Bradley and more of the world's best like Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose, and Cameron Young at nearby TPC River Highlands. June 24th through the 28th. For tickets and information, go to travelerschampionship.com. The Travelers Championship. Now is the time. This is the place.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Stink, as always, Freddie Peralta getting ready to leave in the 5th inning. He's already given up 2 runs. He's just gearing up so he can take his, gets his, as the great Chris McMonagle would say, 5 and fly. So, and U.S. men's national team roster has reportedly dropped. It's not supposed to drop till Tuesday. And before I'm not going to dive into that, but it is frustrating, me being a soccer fan. But this is kind of across all of sports. I obviously grew up, Rosenberg, same, grew up in a generation where, we didn't have social media spoiling things for us. And just like whether it's the NFL draft or the NBA draft or, an award that comes out in sports, at some point, I just want to just let me live in the moment. Tuesday, I wanted them to announce a team. I would freak out then. But then everything gets, the excitement is just killed because it gets leaked. And these reporters are just doing their jobs. I get it. If you're not first, you're last in that. Even if you're wrong. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. Just have to be first.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, thankfully it's only soccer, so it really doesn't matter. So thankfully we have that to fall back on. Am I right?
Okay. And back to the calls we go. 888-808-1019. The great Paul Rosenberg is always.
What's up?
That's also another thing, too. That was the funniest part of this entire thing. This guy, and again, it doesn't matter which way you lean. If he wants to be there, that's fine. My issue is with he's at every event. People complaining, what is he not supposed to have a life? Yeah, he can have a life. He could go to events, but when he goes to events, he makes sure he's the center of attention. Make sure he's in front of every camera and every microphone at every event he goes to. But then you introduce the President of the United States, and that's how you started.
What's up?
And I think the one thing we could come away from this last year's Giants rookie class is just because you play sports. This goes for Carter. This goes for Jaxson Dart, and this especially goes for Cam Scadaboo. Just look up his math when he was trying to calculate that he was going to be a 2,000-yard rusher, but he was only off by about 800 yards. You don't have to be the brightest person in the room either. Or you just have to win football games. And guess what? They've won nothing.
Right, and this is also the second Giants quarterback in recent memory that is focused on themselves and not exactly the team. Let's keep in mind, Tommy DeVito, who's just worried about going
a legitimate quarterback.
No, just go
with like Daniel Jones. I don't think I ever saw
Tommy
him
DeVito,
out ever.
Focus on himself, going to pizzerias instead of practicing, signing autographs at Italian bakeries.
Right, we know.
And
you
that's all fine.
All right.
That's all. But again,
it feels like
a culture issue for the Giants quarterback position.
What did Sil say in Sopranos? This is anti-Italian American rhetoric.
Well, defamation, I think he said.
Defamation, whatever.
The Christopher Columbus.
He's from the North. We don't. But Tommy DeVito was trying to make a second career because he only had a couple years left.
Oh, I don't blame Tommy DeVito because he knew he was never going to make it in the NFL.
Another guy who, Giant fans overblown. Can Jaxson Dart step on the field for more than 12 games and actually win a few of those games before we anoint this guy and he starts acting like a star? There's guys in this city that are accomplished, that do things like this, and we crush them. And maybe it's the sensitivity of Giant fans. They just don't, whether it's Abdul Carter, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbull or Jaxson Dart doing whatever they've done this offseason, they're afraid to criticize these guys. Malik Neighbors crushes the draft, is killing the Giants' first pick because he's afraid to play Caleb Downs, twice a year. That's what I got from it. On a podcast with, I think it was Micah Parsons, another one who doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut. But again, more accomplished than these 4 kids. And Abdul Carter, who can't keep his mouth shut, and he's accomplished nothing. Or Cam Scatterbull, who I don't think he knows he's doing anything wrong, because I don't know if he knows where he is half the time. It's on every it's so funny because the whole thing with Puka Nacua comes out, and then he's on that same live stream. I don't know who the hell it was, but he's on that same live stream the next week doing something, and he legitimately almost put his foot in his mouth. And then Jaxson Dart, who I think is a good kid, it's fine. He loves the limelight a little too much. And yesterday, I don't have a problem with him doing that. Again, it's the President of the United States. But it's the fact that it's not just that. It's going to the Kentucky Derby, and it's going to UFC and sitting ringside, and it's going to all these events. Your head coach is being introduced, and you're not there. And it's not just my complaint is more with Harbaugh than anything, because these are kids at the end of the day. They are kids. Kids who are being hyped up, and it's tough when you're in that spot to not believe the hype. It's part of the difficulty that these guys face when it comes to their own failures and accomplishments and we do this a lot. We hype guys up to crush them. In the NFL specifically, we love to hype up quarterbacks and then crush them when they don't succeed. I mean, Sam Darnold was crushed for years, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. 28 wins in 2 regular seasons. Justin Herbert, we want to anoint this guy, and all he's done is had some of the worst playoff performances in NFL history. It's how it is. And I think that if you went through this offseason and Jaxson Dart had been, kind of quiet and we haven't seen from him, I think there's more of a grace period. And my fear is we're going to crush another young talent when he fails because he couldn't stay out of the limelight. Abdul Carter doesn't allow himself the grace to struggle in year 1 because he can't keep his mouth shut. Cam Scatterbull, who played well, yes, in a short stint, he had a couple of good games. He's talking about being ready for week 1. We don't know if he's going to be ready for week 6. And he's just constantly in the limelight. They haven't won anything. They've barely played. And now the head coach has nothing to say when he's getting criticized for the way he drafts. His star player that he traded wanted out. And all it is happy-go-lucky quotes from him. Put your foot down. We kill other teams in this market who have accomplished something or have at least been more successful for far less. But for some reason, we can't touch this. 888-808-1019. George at Oak Ridge. What's going on, George?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling, dude.
So, I want to say first, thank you to all the veterans that have served,
yes,
and the ones that didn't make it home. That's what this weekend's all about.
100%.
I think we need to put this in perspective. It's this generation. They just want the limelight, the social media stars, his hot little girlfriend, going to all different events. I get that. I might not like it. I get it. But you also have to take a look at how about the honor, the privilege of introducing the President of the United States.
Totally fair. What's the honor and privilege of all the other events he's gone to? I'm just asking.
No, none. But that's to my first point, that it's just this generation. They like the limelight.
But that's not everybody. Fernando Mendoza, he actually won something in college, and he respectfully told the president, like, hey, I have to focus on football.
Right.
And he went and played football to get ready for the football season.
But then again, this is his first season. This is Jaxson Dart's second.
12 more games is the difference. That's about it.
And fair disclosure, I'm a Republican. I would be privileged enough if I had
I don't care what your politics are, dude.
Obama.
This isn't a political conversation. This is accomplish something before you step on the field or you step in every event. We crush guys who have done way more. This isn't about introducing the president. This is about introducing the president and going to the Kentucky Derby and going to whatever galley he's going to and modeling for this and being a part of that. And you've accomplished nothing. You can't want the limelight before the success. And I get it. It's this generation. There's also a lot of guys in this generation that are more focused on getting things done on the field than off the field. We don't excuse it anywhere else in this market. We wouldn't excuse it with the Jets. We don't excuse it with the Mets or the Yankees or the Knicks. I know that the hockey teams aren't as popular. We wouldn't excuse it with them. This has nothing to do about politics. Again, I'm okay with that. It's about the totality of everything. And it's not just Jaxson Dart. It's Malik Neighbors. It's Abdul Carter. It's Cam Scadaboo. What happened to the culture that John Harbaugh was going to bring here? When is that going to present itself? These are simple things to control. We could crush Aaron Glenn for all we want. That guy came in and got rid of the biggest distraction here in Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't about what he accomplished elsewhere. And yes, the Jets have been pretty bad. It's all been about football, though. It hasn't been about off-field stuff. Like, the problem is with all this is we're talking about this and not what the Giants have done with the roster and with the draft and the coaching staff. They've re-signed the GM, which I know a lot of you weren't crazy about. But they've re-signed. It has nothing to do with that. What event is Jaxson Dart at? What did Cam Scadaboo or Malik Neighbors say now? That's what we're talking about. And I get it. Giant fans, you kind of cut from the same cloth as Yankee fans, and you think you're the Yankees. You're not the Yankees. The Yankees are failure of a season is making the ALCS or the World Series and not winning. The Giants fans are pumping their fist because their quarterback went 4-8 and their running back had one game where he rushed for 3 touchdowns and 96 yards, never hit 100. Or Malik Neighbors was good at one point but hasn't stepped on the field in a while because of injury. You like to act like you're not the Jets. You've been just as dysfunctional as the Jets. And if anything, over the last 6 years, there's been a lot of off-field conversations about the Giants just like the Jets. And the circus has to stop. Because when you lose and there's a circus surrounding you, it makes everything worse. In year one, your new coach with your young quarterback, you need time to focus on football so the failures on the field aren't amplified by the BS off the field. And that's what's happening right now. And this is not about just yesterday. This is about the entire offseason and things that have predated John Harbaugh that were supposed to stop with John Harbaugh. Peralta gives up another home run, by the way. So that disaster keeps on disastering. 888-808-1019. We'll continue the calls here. There is some positives. The Knicks do play Game 3. Eastern Conference Finals. 2 games away from the NBA Final. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get into that. We'll continue the Giants calls. There's a lot to get to today. We'll talk about the Yankees. If we have to talk about the Mets, I guess we'll do that too. Let's go, Mets! Anthony Gallo on the Fan. Back after this.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 101.9 FM.
There's things about Karl Anthony Towns that if they really want to win a championship, he can't be doing, like we've been saying for 2 years now. And those things are making dumb fouls, holding on to guys. And then if you miss a basket, you can't be upside down like a beetle.
Get Boomer and Gio on demand. Available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and the free Odyssey app.
Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Helping people achieve their goals is what we do. So if your goal is owning a home, We're here to help with guidance and resources, including up to $17,500 in select markets when combining down payment and closing cost grants. Visit BofA.com/home team. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. Equal Housing Lender. Credit and collateral is subject to approval. Restrictions apply. This is not a commitment to lend.
Looking for something cooler to do with the family? At Big Snow American Dream, you can ski, snowboard, and snow tube on real snow indoors any day of the year. No experience? No problem. They offer lessons, rentals, and activities for all ages, so everyone can join the fun. Winter never ends at Big Snow. Book your snow day today at BigSnowAmericanDream.com.
Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And that's not always an easy thing for me to achieve, but my friends at CertaPro Painters, they had no such problems. Big jobs or small, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call now at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today and get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. If you love eating great food as much as I do, you have to listen up. The Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer and the mini oven are must-haves in your kitchen. The thermometer helps perfectly cook your chicken, fish, or meat, and the oven is an all-in-one hero that bakes, broils, air fries, toast, and much more. For years now, I've been telling you about how amazing these products are and how they have changed my life. Now it's time to change yours. Go to ChefIQ.com and don't forget to use the code word Boomer to save big at checkout. That's code word Boomer at ChefIQ.com.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3?
Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
Join the circle of life at the Lion King on Broadway. Breathtaking artistry and an epic story take you on a wondrous adventure you'll never forget. Experience Broadway beyond your imagination at the world's #1 musical. Get tickets today at lionking.com.
Hey, this is Sal Licata. Right now is the time to make sure that your current cooling system is ready for hot weather. You don't want it to fail when it's 90 degrees out, and if it's over 15 years old, you're wasting your money. Get a new high-efficiency AC system right now from my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling. They are New Jersey's air conditioning experts and have been for decades. Take it from me. These guys have done plenty of work on my house. You'll save money and stay cooler. Contact them now at EdisonHVAC.com. That's Edison HVAC.
Oh, nobody beats FW Web. With extensive inventory, personalized service, and a fleet of trucks across the Northeast, FW Web supports all customers, from one-van contractors to large facility operators. For planned projects, emergency jobs, or maintenance, FW Web has what you need, when and where you need it. For plumbing, heating, HVAC, refrigeration, propane gas, and PVF jobs. With over 100 locations, visit FWWeb.com to find one near you.
What an atmosphere tonight. The stands are packed. Down here, two fans side by side, both holding a Heineken. Promising start. The chant begins. Listen to that. Perfect sync. Corner coming in. They lean forward together and goal! Arms up. They cheers. Wait. That's a hug. That's a hug. Let's check the replay. Yes, two strangers at kickoff. Friends by full time.
Fans have more friends. Find yours in the stands. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Talk sports with Evan and Tiki. Middays 10 to 2. WFAN. WFAN FM. WFAN FM.
Tomorrow's game gets rained out. We're going to have two doubleheaders late September. When exactly is the Yankees makeup?
September 22nd, I believe. It'll be a split doubleheader. Split doubleheader.
There's the potential for two, I don't know, whatever doubleheaders could be split back-to-back, whatever. In that series where the Rays and the Yankees could be competing.
Yeah, split doubleheader,
for the division.
105, 705.
Yes. So, I don't know if you guys saw this. My algorithm is mostly food all the time. And in this industry, we have to eat pretty quick. whether you're on air or off air, you're eating in the breaks. So you got like 5 minutes to scarf down 2,000 calories, whatever it is. That's a very unhealthy amount of calories in one meal, but you get the point. And I see this story in China that they had more than 2,000 people, the first ever sneaky rice porridge eating contest. Essentially, they had 10 minutes to finish a bowl of, I'm guessing it's rice, probably like some type of rice ramen type thing, in 10 minutes without being caught. And I thought, that's easy. Give me 3 minutes and I can do that. How do you think I survive my own house as, my now fiance is on my ass all the time about what I eat? You got to sneak it in there a couple times. She walks away, throw a couple chocolate bites in there. Go in the fridge, eat a couple cold chicken wings when she's not looking like I'm breaking out of jail.
Do you have to say that, my now fiance?
Yes, I do. Which, if those of you have not known, I, proposed to my then girlfriend, now fiance.
Mazel tov. You can't but she's still your girlfriend.
No, she's my fiance.
But she's still your girlfriend.
Don't you try to get shanked?
No, I'm just saying.
She's at work right now. I'm sure she'll listen back and put in the AI a transcript finding fiance.
Absolutely your fiance. But you can still call her. She's also your girlfriend still.
She's my fiance. You're trying to get me in trouble here.
I'm not. That's just an honest question.
When you pop the question, which we all know you're very close to, that was a joke, by the way. She's not listening, thinking like, oh. Next time you watch the dog show together, the Pomeranian's going to come up with a ring. You'll get it. Believe me. And she is. It was very nice. But that was that weekend of celebration, just to put it in perspective. I'm talking about, avoiding her when I eat things. In my head, it was a special celebration of our love. But it was also a chance for me to eat whatever I want and not get in trouble for it. We went out and ordered like 6 appetizers. And to her credit, I have, I'm in the best shape I've been in like 10 years. But, I still like to eat. Rosenberg, to show you the growth I've had, Rosenberg's been throwing munchkins at me all day. And I've been swatting them away because I have to be a good boy.
YOLO. You only live once, dude.
I also say this, too. When you're going to eat that, what if I get hit by a car tomorrow? You think I'm going to care about the kale salad I had the other day?
No, but I will care
about that food that I got to eat. That was a great meal. So real quick, I promise I'm going to get back to the calls. We stayed at a nice hotel. I think I did a good job. She was very happy. It was a great weekend. It was just the two of us. But the second night, the hotel set it up. They did this whole romantic gesture, champagne, roses, roll panels, all those things. And all I could care about, she's like crying about how sweet it was. And I'm like, ooh, chocolate-covered strawberries. And then she's, again, being all emotional, very happy. I'm like, are you going to eat that? There's 6 here. We split it up 3-3. Can I have that one? I'm not ever going to put it out because it's just me and her moment. But there is a moment where she's like crying, recording the room, and you hear me in the back. Ooh, chocolate-covered strawberries. 888-808-1019. Rosenberg gets what I'm talking about here. Also, Rosenberg, sugar has got to be off the charts because all this guy eats is sweets. Every day has not just one sweet. He's got like a Trader Joe's triple portion of like whatever chalk. Today he's got 6 scones, whatever it is. So he's got a sweet tooth. That's enough about that. 888-808-1019. As I've completely gone off the rails. Back to serious conversations, Jaxson Dart and the Giants. Murph in Westwood. What's going on, Murph?
Hey, Anthony. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling, dude.
Just a quick couple points here. On Jaxson Dart and the other 3 guys on the Giants. Jay Dart has to read the room. He's got to have better people around him. It's not the fact that what he did. It's just that there's a potential that 50% of the fan base is annoyed at him. And then more importantly is his teammates. The guys on the roster who's going to go to war with, there's a high percentage of them that probably did not like that. So Abdul Carter, hold on, Anthony. Hold on. I've listened to you.
Murph, get your point out. Try to have a conversation with you. Don't lecture me. Yeah. Get your point out then, if you want to have that kind of conversation.
So the point is, he needs to know better. I don't really care about, hey, it's the President of the United States. He has to know that that's going to affect his teammates. And
okay, so you repeated yourself again. Thank you for the call, Murph. I'm not doing this. Like, we get it. I am not worried about the political side of this. These are grown men. I'm more worried about how he's at every event and the fans. I actually don't think 50% of the fans are turned on him in this situation. Because at the end of the day, we're sports fans. We're very lowbrow. And also, if I'm trying to have a conversation with you, talk to me. I'm letting you on air. Talk to me. I'm going to let you finish your point. I always let everyone finish their point. My point was going to be, I'm not worried about the backlash in the locker room. What I'm worried about is this is a young kid that needs time to struggle. And he's going to struggle. It's the natural progression of any quarterback. It has nothing to do with just the presidential event. So get it through your brains. My point is, there's a million events he's been to, and all he does is stick himself in the limelight. And when he struggles, which he will, because that's how you grow as a quarterback, when he struggles outside of like Patrick Mahomes, every other quarterback, I feel like in my lifetime, has had their moments of struggling. The fans will turn on him very quickly. Daniel Jones won a playoff game on the road, and it took half a season for the fans to turn on him, and that was a guy who was just focusing on football. Abdul Carter, I don't have a problem with him having a problem with the situation. How about you talk to the guy face-to-face then? Cam Scadaboo is a guy who has been, it's not that he's saying anything like offensive, in my opinion. I know the CTE thing was not great. It's not that he's saying something that's offensive. It's that he puts himself out there way too much for a guy who hasn't done anything. And I know it's different when you're talking about a running back who, just the nature of the position, his window to maximize his worth is a smaller window. So the quarterback and the elite pass rusher, there's a different situation there. The optics are different. But then even Malik Neighbors criticize. Just keep your mouth shut. And if you want to go to events, why do you have to be front and center at all of these events? If he had done everything differently this offseason and all he did was introduce the president, I wouldn't have even cared because that's his right. All of this is his right. I can only have my opinion. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. But when it blows up in his face, he's the one who has to deal with it then. If he struggles and the fans turn on him and people start calling in who are defending him, it doesn't matter what their political spectrum is, and they start crushing him because he's not playing well, that'll be a problem. And in this market, you don't get the grace of developing a quarterback. You don't. And maybe that's entirely just the nature of the NFL now as a whole. You will. Look at what we did to Sam Darnold because he said he saw ghosts in a clip that wasn't even, like, it wasn't him saying it publicly. It was him saying it on the sideline. There is a problem with this Giants team, and it's not just Jaxson Dart. I know a lot of you are focused on that because of whichever way you skew on a political spectrum. I'm not even looking at this politically. I'm looking at this as somebody outside looking in who's a football fan who also has to talk about these teams for a living, not wanting them to continue to suck. The coach was supposed to come in here and change the culture. Nothing's changed. Star players have wanted out. Your star wideout is criticizing your draft. Your two young backfield duo, the quarterback and running back, they go to every event they're invited to, and they put their face right front and center in it. Whether it's the Kentucky Derby or a gala or introducing the president or a WWE event where your star pass rusher and your rookie pass rusher and your rookie running back 3 weeks after surgery are trading blows with WWE superstars. And if they weren't, I'm telling you right now, if they weren't wearing the Giants uniform and they were the Jets, we would be piling on them. And the difference is Jet fans are more willing to criticize their team at times because they don't have this false narrative around them that they are some elite franchise. The Giants haven't been an elite franchise in some time. The whole point is for John Harbaugh to come in here, which I ultimately think he will do. But right now, I can only go with what I have, and it hasn't been good. Tony in Naugatuck, what's going on, Tony?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What's going on, Tone?
No, this is Anthony Gallo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, thank you for calling, Tone.
And I like your name.
I like it. So some people here think I should go by Tony instead of Anthony. So I like your name too.
Well, hey, I do appreciate the work you do on the other show with Carton and Big Mac.
Oh, I love it. It's a good time.
You're behind the scenes.
Yes.
The thing I want to talk about is like I understand these are young kids, Jaxson Dart and Cam Scatterbull.
Right.
And they're like, there's a lot of pressure on them. And like, I just I'm not saying just go to work. Let's win.
Right.
That's what I care about.
Because you know what happens, Tony? If they go to work and they win, we're going to want them to go to every event.
Exactly. But win first. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got to work for what you get. And it's like, yeah, he did good last year. They beat the Eagles, and Cam looked good and everything. But that's like couple weeks.
Right. It's only a few games. It's not like everything they did was fantastic.
No. Exactly. Just earn it. It's like, I had to earn everything I got in life, and I'm sure you worked your ass off to get where you are. Just, I'm sorry if I swear.
It's okay. You could say that.
Okay. Earn what you get. You know what I mean? Earn it. It's like, you got to earn it. It's like, I understand there's a lot of pressures in New York City, the big lights.
But that's part of it. But that is part of it, Tony, and I appreciate the call. It's a great call. That is part of it. Like, you want to be in the limelight. You cannot get upset when we get on you. Like, you're not playing in Detroit or you're not playing in a small market. You're playing in the market. How many events did Eli Manning go to? Year 1, year 2. How many? Because I don't remember it. I don't remember Aaron Judge gallivanting around town. He's also not that kind of guy because we still don't really see him that much. Look at the flack. The Mets are a perfect example. A team that has accomplished nothing. And they have guys who have long track records of at least being successful in their sport. Lindor, Soto. It bothered me. I know Lindor's hurt and there's nothing he can do about it when he's at the Knicks game. It bothered me. It is his right to be there. It still bothered me. When Steve Cohen's showing up courtside, the owner of the team, to a Knicks game, and your team is falling on its face left and right. It bothered me. And I'm pretty positive about that owner. It's the optics, and it's not just Jaxson Dart. I want to get that across. Again, my point is I'm not singling out Jaxson Dart. Neighbors, Carter, Scatterbull. This was supposed to be different, and it's been a very noisy offseason, and most of it has not had to do with football. Mario in Long Beach. What's going on, Mario?
Anthony, great show.
Appreciate you. What's going on, man?
Yeah. So, first of all, nice to see you get some airtime, and nice to see what's the guy right before you?
Emmanuel,
your other guy,
the great Emmanuel.
Yeah. No, the guy you're on with Carton. I can't get his name for some reason. I'm brain. Hoff was on last night. Late.
Yes.
So it's nice to see you guys pretty close together, getting some airtime.
I appreciate you.
Very nice. And I think I think one of the things we're forgetting also. Oh, by the way, I thought you did a good job on that Wheel of Fortune, whatever it was.
Oh, the Wheel of Fun. I've struggled, but I am on a 1-game win streak.
Good. Yeah, you did a nice job.
I appreciate it. Well, what's your point, Mario?
Okay, here's my point on Abdul Carter. You were talking about Manning didn't do this. It's different personalities. Everybody's different. That's the problem. You can't change the way some people are, but you need to have a leader there to lead.
Yes, Mario, I 100% agree, and I don't care if he's in the limelight. But what's going to happen is if he struggles and the fans turn on him, he cannot sit here and be like, "What?" Like, that's what's going to happen. It goes for Malik Neighbors. We've seen it happen to other players. And I'm not just...
Can I make my quick point on Abdul Carter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's the deal. I don't know if you know what happened last year, right? He was sleeping in meetings, and nobody did anything. Yes. And then what they did, listen to this, and I don't know how this is going over with the teammates. They might even remember this now. I don't know if you remember. What happened was they benched him for the first quarter of the New England game, which was a very important game, right?
Yes.
And New England wound up scoring 21 points while he was on the bench. So how do you feel about your top draft pick not playing for disciplinary action? and he's not helping you, and they're scoring 21 points on you. You know,
right? And this is what was supposed to change with Harbaugh, and it still can. But right now, it doesn't feel like that. Am I just supposed to? Everything's just supposed to be a sit and wait. We don't do that with anyone else in this town. John Harbaugh has accomplished nothing with the Giants. I believe in him. I love the hire. I do. But he's accomplished nothing with the Giants. So there's only so much your resume can do for me. I'm a Mets fan. I don't care what Juan Soto and Lindor did elsewhere. I don't care what Freddie Peralta, who's having another below-average start, did elsewhere. I don't. What have you done for me? I don't love Jalen Brunson because he did well for the Mavericks. I love Jalen Brunson because all he does is show up for the Knicks. Judge has only done it in one place, but Judge, all he's done, I know, he has his flaws in the playoffs. All he's done is show up. And we're more critical of Eric Judge than we are of Jaxson Dart. We were trying to trade Jalen Brunson, well, some of you were, after one loss to the Hawks. But Jaxson Dart played 12 games where he averaged 189 yards a game, and we're somehow crowding him. Abdul Carter's done nothing, and we're crowding him. Malik Neighbors, elite talent, has not done it long enough, but we're crowning him. This Giants team as a whole has done nothing. And the criticism is looked at as, how dare you? These young guys are going to learn. If they struggle, hopefully they don't. And maybe they never do learn. Who cares then at that point if you're winning? Seriously, who cares at that point? But if they struggle, 1-5, 2-6, worse than that, whatever it is, they better not be shocked when the fans turn on them. Because while you are having the time of your life, the people who are going to be there long after you leave the league rooting for this team are the ones living and dying then. And why are you so mad at me for struggling? Well, because you were doing everything, but seemingly the optics were you weren't caring about being the best player. And I don't want to hear that it's the offseason. Of course he's allowed to do what he wants and have his life. Cam Scadaboo and Abdul Carter could go to a WWE event, during the season. Doesn't always rub me the right way. I killed Jalen Brunson for after a postseason run, which he hurt his hand, being at SmackDown. So sorry if I'm consistent. It's mind-boggling. Accomplish something. Another example, and not that he's in the limelight, Nolan McClain. I think he's a very good pitcher. We were anointing him the next Paul Skeens. He had accomplished nothing. Now imagine if he was out at every event in the town, how much worse it would be for him. And not that he's direly struggling. He's just not the ace we thought he was. We would be killing him. And Tommy DeVito, I know Paulie made that comparison earlier. That's a guy who was looking for a second career. Yes, he'll be a backup for a few more years. That was a guy looking for a second career. 888-808-1019. He wasn't truly a franchise, centerpiece. He was a fun story in what was a long run, which is still a long run, of terrible Giants football. Mike in Flatbush, what's going on, Mike?
Mr. Gallo, thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for calling, Mike.
I agree with you about the locker room dynamic. I think that's overblown.
Yeah,
I thought it was overblown as a storyline for the Mets. That might just be something that the fans are trying to hang their hat on because the reality is more brutal. But that's a separate issue. You did in the noisy off season, and you could be forgiven for not wanting to bring it up. But the Steve Tisch issue,
another point, which is that's out of John Harbaugh's hair, though. To be fair,
right, correct, and the players. I'm just bringing it up in terms of your point about how the off season has been anything but something you want to write home to mom about. But I think that I don't have a problem even with Dart, even though the content of it politically annoys me. He could do what he wants. I do think that Trump is trying to make him see, he wants to be seen next to the winner.
I'll put it this way, Mike, and Listen, he's allowed to do what he wants because that's what this country is about. It's not about the event yesterday. It's about the totality of the offseason. And I know it gets muddied in these waters because all anyone wants to focus about was yesterday, but it's not just about yesterday. He's been at every event this offseason. That's my problem. Cam Scadaboo can't stay away from a microphone. Malik Neighbors, the night of the draft, is crushing the draft. Abdul
and I
Carter's
get what you're saying about win something first before you. I get what you're saying, but something tells me that like Joe Namath didn't wait to win the Super Bowl before kind of.
Yeah, but Joe Namath didn't live in the social media era, and I'm sorry, it may not be fair, but the Giants PR team has to talk to these kids and let them understand. Mike, do you have kids?
Line. That's the bottom line between the PR and the head coach. You have to say you want to go to these things. Say no. Tell because somebody comes up to them and says, "Hey, can we stick a camera in your face?" Tell them no.
Right, and let me ask you this, Mike, because I don't have kids, but I know with my nieces and my younger cousins I do this. But like we have these conversations with young people about everything you do today lives on the internet. So don't be stupid. And I'm not saying Jaxson Dart individually has not done anything wrong. This is more about the dynamics of winning and losing and what pressure he's adding to himself. And I'm sorry, it's not a great look. You're not at the coach's opening day press conference. You're at every event, and when you struggle, that's going to blow back on you.
For athletes on that level, this is just, but like, don't they all have kind of people in there? Like they're like day one guys who are some consigliere types who can say, hey, this is not a good idea, or you might want to do this. Like who is in?
But I don't know what those dynamic. I don't know what Carter and Dart's camps are and Neighbors' camps. I don't. I do know the Giants have, in my opinion, a great PR staff. I don't know if the PR staff is the one that handles that, but who's ever talking to these guys, there has to be, I know you can't control them. I'm not saying that. But there has to be, maybe they did, and maybe I'm just going off of what I know, which is not much. But like there has to be a notion of you are making it harder on yourself if we struggle. The coach can talk to these guys, and I appreciate the call, Mike. The coach can talk to these guys. This is going to hurt if they struggle. And again, I'm only reacting in the moment because that's all I got. If week 6 is here and they're 5-1, none of it will matter. But if it's on the flip side, Giant fans are going to be harder on these guys. We do it in every aspect. It is not easy to play here. It is not easy to succeed here. It is not easy to succeed here and continuously succeed. And we're sports fans. At the end of the day, we have short memories, and winning's all we care about. We forget about way worse things than going to the Kentucky Derby or a WWE event when guys win. Guys can have criminal pasts and all this stuff, and I'm not saying it's right. But if you're a sports fan, a lot of us, we're just living in the moment of winning and losing. So people will forget this if they win. But if they don't, it'll be fodder. And when you're a young quarterback in New York City, you don't get a lot of time to fail. That's also a fear of mine. We've seen it with other quarterbacks. Sam Darnold had everything working against him, and all we did was run this guy out of town. Daniel Jones was here a long time because of the organization. The fans did not give him a long grace period. Before he won that playoff game, we crushed him. And shortly after winning that playoff game, fans turned on him again. It does matter. And now the Steve Tisch thing, I am not getting on the players and the coach for that because that is above them and that predates them. That is an organizational thing. Don't get me wrong. That is an NFL thing, but that predates them. What I am getting on Harbaugh about is this culture, and it's not just that the kids will be kids, 100%. And I want to also say, these are not bad people. I am just looking at this through a football, winning and losing lens. They've accomplished nothing. They have not done anything wrong. They have not done anything illegal. So there is a drastic difference. But he is supposed to come in and set the tone, and I don't feel that. Your star player axed out and wanted out. Clearly, he had some insight to why he wanted out. But he wanted out, and he's gone. And I gave them credit for nipping that in the bud. But since then, we've had Scadaboo and Neighbors and Dart and Carter doing things like this, and the Neighbors stuff comes out, and Harbaugh just said, we had a conversation. There was no definitive. It was all like they just laughed it off. And Joe Shane sat there awkwardly. This is not – a lot of you older guys that are excusing this are the same guys that harken back to the days of Bill Parcells or Tom Coughlin even. Peralta giving up another home run. This guy stinks. There is Let's go, Mets! There is and I don't worry about the locker room. I think the political stuff in the locker room is so overblown. Like, it just is. I don't think that's what the ultimate demise of the Mets was. That's not going to be the demise of the Giants. I don't. The Freddie Peralta thing is just, what a bum this guy is. David Stearns, what a masterclass.
Let's go, Mets!
And if they're listening to Yankee fans, kill Brian Cashman. And I laugh. It's not the political dynamic dividing the locker room. It has nothing to do about the singular event of yesterday. It's the totality of this offseason that has been more about what event Jaxson Dart's at or what did Scadaboo and Neighbors say that we have to talk about now and the Giants have to talk about. And now what did Carter tweet out? And Carter should have handled that privately. He's allowed to have his opinion. Jaxson Dart is allowed to go to whatever event he wants to go to. But when that becomes a distraction, that's an issue for the team. And maybe it won't rear its head now because they haven't played any games. But I guarantee you the same people defending Dart, defending Carter, defending Neighbors, defending Scadaboo will not be defending him if the team struggles. They won't. If he had done nothing else, I would have been like, why are we caring? Young kid, the president of the United States, how could you get mad at that? And it's not the singular event. It's the Kentucky Derby and UFC and going to a Mammoths game in Utah when your coach is being introduced. It's something that we just glossed over because we were so excited about Harbaugh. Like, I can't. And even the singular tweet by Abdul Carter, I honestly don't really care about, but when you combine the whole offseason, the Giants are a circus. And they weren't supposed to be a circus. And the funny thing is, and maybe I could say this because I'm not a Jets or a Giants fan. If this was the Jets, we would be, because Jet fans are very quick to crush their own organization, we would be having a lot of fun at their expense. But the Giant fan, who tends to be a Yankee fan, thinks the Giants are the Yankees. They're not. Yankees lose in the ALCS, and we kill them. The Giants quarterback wins 4 of 12 games, and you're throwing a parade. It's not the same. Brian Cashman loses the World Series, and his job's being called for. Joe Shane wins 1 playoff game, he's getting extended. You're not the same organizations. You're closer to the Jets and the Mets than you are the Yankees. 888-808-1019. Daryl in Port St. Lucie. What's going on, Daryl?
Hey, Anthony. Really good listening to you. Just wanted to make a quick comment because I was looking at a lot of the social media about the Dart and Carter.
Right.
And I don't, I know you're having a show and it isn't religious or anything, but I know that this would be a whole different situation if Carter would have went to a Nation of Islam thing with Louis Farrakhan with his history, which is kind of like the president's history with his racism. And then Jaxson Dart made some kind of a comment. I know a lot of Giant fans would have a whole different opinion of that.
It just would have been flipped, but that's not the point. The point is, and Daryl, I'm trying to say that the point isn't just about yesterday. It's about the entire offseason.
Oh, no, I get you. I get what you're saying because, and I like the point you made about Eli. When Eli was there, Peyton was doing commercial after commercial after commercial. I didn't see Eli Manning do one commercial until they beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 42.
Darryl, how much flack did Eli get before winning that Super Bowl?
Oh my God, we were all
killing him.
You know, I threatened to burn my jersey 15 times.
Killing him. Like, I remember it. We were all, and what Tiki said was not that controversial. If you go back and look at what Tiki said, it wasn't. But we were all on Tiki's side prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until he won the Super Bowl that everyone decided to say, oh, it was wrong. That Kurt Warner-Eli Manning dynamic was very toxic. We didn't have social media, so it's not as easy to go back. I appreciate the call, Darryl. It was very toxic. But Jaxson Dart, he won those 4 games, and one of them was against the Eagles. And also, shout out to my guy Keith. And he's saying in the chat, in Dart's defense, the Utah trip was booked way before they even knew who the coach would be or when the press conference would be. Pivot, bud. He's got enough money to fly back out there for the trip. Pivot. Because if it was, to put it in the Keats world, if they had gotten a new manager and Aaron Judge had some pre-booked sporting event he had to go to and he didn't show up to the manager's press conference, we would be killing him. And that's a guy who's the best player in his sport. But you can't say anything wrong about Malik Neighbors and Jaxson Dart and Abdul Carter. You can't. You can't say anything wrong about them. And it's funny, Darryl brings up the Eli dynamic. Eli was not loved until he won that Super Bowl. He wasn't. A lot of people, he had to win 2 Super Bowls for some Giant fans to truly believe that he was elite. Remember the whole Eli elite thing? I'm sorry. I also, you got a planned trip. Go the next day. You have enough money. Believe me, you're doing every event in the city. You have enough money. And see, I love my guy Keith. He's being fair. He is. He's a Cowboys fan. That's fair for him to defend the quarterback. I'm sorry. I just can't lean that way. If the Knicks had hired Mike Brown and the star players on the team were not there, I would have had a problem with it. I'm sorry. You're a professional. There's things that we have to do in this industry. I don't get to have the excuse of, I had a pre-play. No, sometimes you got to pivot. All walks of life. You think the sanitation worker who had the pre-planned, family dinner and it snows and now he's got to work a double shift wants to talk about, boss, I can't. No, show up. Because then when you win, you could do whatever you want. Whatever you want. This goes for all of them. Malik Neighbors is criticizing the draft. What have you done? Abdul Carter's out here tweeting, you done nothing. You walk around like you've done something, but you've done... It's so funny on that Giants defensive line. Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau can't keep their mouths shut. And the guy who's one of the best pass rushers in the league, I've never heard him speak. He does his little Spider-Man dance, and that's it. And there's a lot of people, I'm getting the wrap it up sign here from the incredibly mid Paul Rosenberg, 888-808-1019. We'll continue the conversation. We are going to get into the Knicks after the break. We'll talk a little about the Yankees too, as I think Yankee fans, as always, overreacting to every loss, even though the team is one of the best teams in baseball. Anthony Gallo, I got you till 8 o'clock. Back after this.
Jalen Brunson and the Knicks kept the good times rolling on the Garden floor and are out to a comfortable 2-0 series lead. Now it's on to Coach Mike Brown's old stomping grounds for Game 3 tonight in Cleveland, where he'll look to get his squad one step closer to playing for a championship. The latest breaking Knicks news, the biggest Knicks opinions, and the most trusted voices delivering them all live here. Your home for New York sports is 101.9 FM, WFAN.
Some stages celebrate. This one tests everything. Every drive, every approach, every putt. Pressure builds, resilience matters, and history waits for the bold. In June, the 2026 U.S. Open Championship returns to the Hamptons at the iconic Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Experience the world's best golfers compete on one of the sport's most storied stages. Daily tickets are available now on SeatGeek. Don't just watch greatness. Experience it live at the 126th U.S. Open.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. Fun is in the driver's seat at Nielsen Dodge. Get a great deal on the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram you really want, with 0 down payment available, plus the credit help you need. Shop online at nielsendodge.com. Declaration of Deals sales event.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The Boomer and Geo Show is brought to you by FanDuel. This is your reminder to check in daily because every day during the NBA playoffs, FanDuel is serving up a happy hour. We're talking special drops you won't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. Check out a new reward every single day of the NBA playoffs and don't miss your shot to get a little extra out of the action. Head to FanDuel.com/New York to get started. That's FanDuel.com/New York. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, has all the betting markets you could possibly want. And when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? Oof. We've got specialists for that. Layup, take you down? We've got specialists for that. With nearly 50 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And that's not always an easy thing for me to achieve. But my friends at CertaPro Painters, they had no such problems. Big jobs or small, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call now at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today and get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
I need a little range, step to the range. There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
And I want to dive into that real quick. I don't know if you saw this story, but the Cardinals called up a guy, 11 years in the minor. Brian Torres, in his first game, hits a home run. Talk about an awesome story. Talk about a guy who grinded 11 years in the minors and hits a home run in his first game. Incredible. 888-808-1019. No, a little feel-good story. And we are going to pivot to the Knicks in a sec. Somebody in the YouTube chat said, if the Knicks win tonight, do they lose Game 4 to win at home? No, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's so funny. When the Mets went to the World Series in 2015, I forgot how many games they won the NLCS in, but we had the next game at Citi Field, me and my brother. And my brother's like, do we root for them to lose so we could watch them at home? And I'm like, no. We root for them to go to the World Series. We've seen them go to one World Series in our lifetime. We root for them to go to the World Series. I'll live with not seeing them play. But I get the thought, they lose, you get to see them at home. No. To win the games, we don't have enough of these to say, oh, they can lose one. Because let them lose one. Let them lose one. And imagine, we're all going to be like, oh, they're coming back. It's just the nature of sports. 888-808-1019. Rob at Farmingdale. What's going on, Rob?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I just want to talk about Jaxson Dart because I went to the deli. I got a sandwich. I went in the house. I ate. Went to the bathroom. Came outside. You were still going off about Jaxson Dart.
Believe me, I just don't. Believe me. First of all, what sandwich did we get at the deli?
Oh, I got a chicken cutlet hero.
Just chicken cutlet on the hero? What's on it? Come on.
No. Melted cheese, jalapenos, Russian dressing. I got the whole works.
Now I know why you went to the bathroom. So.
Exactly. But yeah, no. So I was gonna say I heard Carton talking about the same thing yesterday. Same exact thing. So right. I didn't know if I know Carton has a wife and stuff and kids, I think, but I didn't know if you wanted to date him or something. But
oh, you are so original, Rob. Thank you. He's obviously taken. So no, I know it's tough in your little brain to really come up with this. I am able to have my own opinion about things. And just because we have the same opinion, he doesn't pay my bills. That's the craziest part. Just like when I'm positive about the Yankees, Hal Steinbrenner's not paying my bills. You think I'd be working on Memorial Day if that was the case? Also, terrible sandwich choice, dude. Have a little class. 888-808-1019. Al in Manhattan. What's going on, Al?
Gallo, what's up, dude? Hey, listen. My time goes back to Bill Parcells in the early 80s. There was a team, and their famous song was the Super Bowl Shuffle. You remember it?
The Bears, correct?
Yeah, the Bears, exactly. They did a huge promotion on WWF, and it was all about hype, man. You got to let these guys just relax a little bit and just earn their brand, bro.
But I'm saying, Al, let me ask you something. Go ahead, man. If they start, you're a Giants fan, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
If they start 2-6, 2-7, are you going to give them time to earn their brand? Or are you going to get on them?
You know what? It's all about how much money they're making for, their personal
No. That's not what I'm talking about, Al. I'm talking about winning and losing football games. Are you going to give Jaxson Dart the grace of failure because he was just earning his brand, or is this now going to become a story that it was a distraction?
Well, it's going to be distraction, but did Jim McMahon get that distraction too, and did he earn it?
But, Al, I don't care about the Bears. I'm talking about New York City. When the Giants were winning those Super Bowls, were they doing stuff like this? Outside of their star, who could do it because he was the best player to ever step on the field defensively.
Different genres, though, bro.
Al, you're a hypocrite then. So what you're saying is you're allowing him to do this, but then you're going to use it as fodder later. My whole point, and first of all, I'm not singling out. I guess he's defending all these young kids, which I get. If they start to lose, all of you guys defending him, don't call up and complain that they weren't focused on football, that John Harbaugh has been cultivating a poor culture. I don't want to hear it then. I have the ability to say I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I do not want to go through another Giants season of terrible football. I don't want to go through another Jets season of terrible football and Woody Johnson tweeting out Leon Washington clips. I don't. It's putrid. I wouldn't care if this was year 3 of Jaxson Dart And he's been great. He's played 12 games. He's been okay. Half those games he's played okay. The other half, he looked like a rookie. And it's going to be a lot tougher. New coach who's established with a Super Bowl. For him, Abdul Carter, Malik Neighbors, which the one I'm worried about the least is Malik Neighbors, because it's his health that bothers me. Same thing with Cam Scatterbo. It's their health that the talent, I believe in all four of these guys. I believe they're all talented. Health obviously is not something that anybody can control. Like these injuries didn't happen because they weren't taking care of themselves. But it's all the other stuff. If Malik Neighbors is healthy and he struggles, you don't think people are going to throw it back in his face that he was criticizing the Arvell Reese pick? If Caleb Downs beats him on a jump ball, do you think we're going to care about Malik Neighbors building his brand, or are we going to care about his poor performance? If Jaxson Dart does not play well, are all these people defending him now going to be like, well, he's young, he was just being a kid? No, you're going to throw it back in his face. There's a distraction being added to this team. There is fodder being added to this team. It's already difficult enough to develop a young quarterback in New York City. And in the social media era, it's 10 times worse. Like I said, Eli Manning didn't get a lot of grace to develop. If their social media would have been around, it would have been even worse. Look at every Jets young quarterback that struggled. We got mad at Zach Wilson for a story that was just conjecture about him sleeping with somebody's mom and got mad about that. But these guys showing up to every single event, no matter what's going on, and talking, whether it's Cam Scatterbo or Malik Neighbors or Abdul Carter, saying things, putting their foot in their mouth. You can't criticize them, though. Paul and Yonkers, what's going on, Paul?
Hey, Anthony, how are you?
What's going
Anthony, on? All right. I don't care what these kids are doing now, because one thing with Harbaugh, he doesn't lose in August. I'm 11-1 with him with the Baltimore Ravens. He wins every exhibition game. So the Giants will be ready in August, not September. They will be ready. So I don't care what these kids are doing in May. August, the Giants are going 4-0 in exhibition, which I never witnessed. I'm used to them winning it, losing every game. So that's going to be the first difference with Harbaugh.
Okay.
He
and then what happens week one, Paul?
Game. I'm just saying, you're worrying about the kids now. I ain't worrying about what they're running around doing, because he's going to have them ready out of the gate in August.
Okay.
It's going to be tough, the first two games. I understand that. But the first change is we're going to see the Giants sweep their exhibition here.
Paul, I love you, Paul. I was a good laugh. I could care less about teams winning in preseason. I really could care less. I could 100% care less if you go 0-3 or 4-0 or 3-0. I could care less. And I think Harbaugh's a great coach. We're not going to excuse. In Baltimore, he got away with a lot of those shortcomings later in his tenure. The choking, nobody's choked more, I forget what it was, 2 or 3 possession leads in the NFL in Harbaugh's era than Harbaugh. We're not going to excuse that because guess what? He hasn't won here yet. And that bleeds into the rest of the team because none of them have won anything. None of them have won with the Giants. I am just saying that these guys are making the culture thing. Hopefully you could see that, we're going to get to game time and these guys are going to button up. There won't be WWE appearances in the middle of the season coming off of back-to-back disappointing losses and a surgery. Abdul Carter was there too. There's not going to be tweets about teammates in the middle of the season. That's what I hope doesn't happen. But right now, all I could go off of what's happened. If the Giants are 1-6 and Jaxson Dart goes to a movie premiere and he's all over the back pages taking pictures, are you guys going to be okay with that? If Cam Scatterbo's on I don't know. One of these, I couldn't name one. Kai Sinet's YouTube page doing something stupid and the Giants are losing. Are you going to be okay with that? The biggest one, and it's one that really could rear its ugly head, is Malik Neighbors gets beat to a ball by Caleb Downs or in a game that Arvell Reese has like 3 sacks. Are you not going to throw that in his face? Is that not going to be a question for the coach? If Arvell Reese struggles and Caleb Downs does well, is that not going to be something that permeates the whole season? 888-808-1019. We got a lot to get to. I want to get to the Knicks, the Yankees as well. Phil in Freeport real quick before the break.
Anthony, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you, Phil?
Good. Listen, I mean, you got 2 great, GMs. You got, Mr. Cashman. What is it on? Possibly his 29th winning season? Come on. I mean, I understand championships define you. And then you got Leon Rose. I mean, you got a gigantic game today. These guys are 2 games away from being the championship. I mean, and Leon Rose, I heard what you were saying on your show right now about guys who fail in New York. The starting 5, by the way, are all from different teams. And these guys blended.
Well, yeah, there is a little bit of cohesion there, obviously, because a lot of those guys, 3 of them went to the same college. And there is familiarity, too, that is underrated. Josh Hart's from Philly. Bridges is from Philly. And the other guys are from the tri-state area. Brunson, obviously, Jersey, and PA. Cat, Jersey. They do have, in that circuit, when you're an elite baller like that, when you're younger, you do have
Anthony,
mixture there. They're familiar with each other.
I know I have just a little bit of time. My point is this, though. You made an excellent point. Athletes come to New York and fail. They tend to fall apart. These guys on the Knicks, and Leon Rose, obviously, he's like a savant. Obviously, he sees things that other people don't see. My point is this before I go. And by the way, your show sounds terrific, by the way.
Appreciate you.
What Leon Rose has done is nothing but a miracle. Most teams at least have some guys are homegrown. I understand there's some guys on the bench, but the starting 5 that's a shot today to go 3-0 to finally get to that championship and win that thing. And by the way, if they get to that and win it, what a parade. Love your show, Anthony.
I appreciate you, Phil. It's going to be a great moment. They got to get there first. Obviously, getting there will be an accomplishment, for especially a guy like me. They played in 1 finals in my lifetime, and I was very young, and it was over very quickly. It's great. And look at perfect example, because all the people you can't criticize Jaxson Dart. If Brunson has a bad game, we criticize him. We crush him. Some Knicks fans, as idiotic as it sounds, were saying he was holding the team back. Leon Rose, because he fired Thibodeau and other moves he's made, has gotten criticism. Right now, obviously, sunshine and roses. But Jaxson Dart played 12 games where he played okay in a few of them. You can't criticize him, though. The Knicks are 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. We pivot to that. We talk the Yankee fans off the ledge. For some reason, they're always standing on the edge. We got a lot to get to. Anthony Gallo, right here on The Fan.
The place to be for everything New York Knicks is the place the Knicks voices speak.
We're hanging out with Knicks legend Walt Clyde Frazier.
Brunson, he's the guy. Mr. Clutch. So down the stretch, he's going to have the ball.
Those who know.
Mr. John Starks.
They've been incredibly locked in. Everybody is clicking on all cylinders. They can win it all.
Carmelo Anthony.
This was a team that was trying to figure out who they were as a team with the lineups. They were trying to figure out offensive systems. They were trying to get Mike Brown. Everybody was trying to figure it out.
You want Knicks? Why go anywhere else?
Mr. James Dolan live in studio.
You have to be patient. The team has to gel together. They have to see that they can win. They have to believe in themselves.
Your destination for the Knicks championship run is 101.9 FM WFAN.
I'm Tyler Kolek, and I got my Lincoln right here at Lincoln of Queens. Smooth ride, no hassle. They even delivered it right to my door. When it's time to save, it's time to go to Lincoln of Queens. It's our employee pricing sale. You pay what we pay. Lease a 26 Nautilus for $563 a month.
36-month lease requires $58.20 due at signing. Excludes tax, title, and MV fees. See dealer for details. Expires July 6th.
Lincoln of Queens, where Queens goes. Go New York, go New York, go.
Hey Yankees fans, gather a group of 10 or more and take advantage of our 2026 Yankees group ticket specials. Whether you're getting together with family and friends, organizing a fundraiser, or entertaining clients, your group will love bonding over the Bronx Bombers. Start planning your 2026 group outings today. Log on to Yankees.com/groups. Call 212-YANKEES or email us at groups@Yankees.com. That's 2026 group tickets. Call 212-YANKEES or visit Yankees.com/groups today.
Hey, this is Sal Licata. Right now is the time to make sure that your current cooling system is ready for hot weather. You don't want it to fail when it's 90 degrees out, and if it's over 15 years old, you're wasting your money. Get a new high-efficiency AC system right now from my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling. They are New Jersey's air conditioning experts and have been for decades. Take it from me. These guys have done plenty of work on my house. You'll save money and stay cooler. Contact them now at EdisonHVAC.com. That's EdisonHVAC.com.
If you're looking for a great price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires. But it doesn't end there, because Town Fair Tire gives you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. More free services than any other tire dealer. That's why we say nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
What an atmosphere tonight. The stands are packed. Down here, two fans side by side, both holding a Heineken. Promising start. The chant begins. Listen to that. Perfect sync. Corner coming in. They lean forward together and goal! Arms up. They cheers. Wait. That's a hug. That's a hug. Let's check the replay. Yes, two strangers at kickoff. Friends by full time.
Fans have more friends. Find yours in the stands. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
It's been over 7 years since Pastor Billy Richards was treated successfully for prostate cancer by Perlmutter Cancer Center, the world's #1 cyberknife program. After 5 treatments in 1 week, Pastor Billy went right back to leading his Brooklyn congregation.
Cyberknife was truly a blessing for me, my family, and my ministry. If you have prostate cancer, I urge you to look into Cyberknife.
For an appointment, call NYU Langone's Perlmutter Cancer Center at 833-1-CYBER. That's 833-ONECYBR.
Summer's a gift. The gift of days that last a little longer. A brighter state of mind. So gift yourself a new Kia at the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. With specially tagged vehicles including the Sorrento, Sportage, Carnival, as well as the Niro Hybrid. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So the gift of summer can keep on giving for summers to come. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 6/1/26. See dealer for warranty details.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill. Now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
The Rico Brogna podcast is proudly sponsored by Takara Fuji Apple Chew High, the sparkling cocktail that blends shochu spirits with delicious flavors of fruits from Japan. Whether it's Citi Field or your favorite spot, raise the apple.
Talk sports with Greg Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
pick up the energy here. We got a game tonight. Knicks, Game 3 in Cleveland at 8 o'clock. This Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. A big one tonight. Game 3 in Cleveland. And not that I feel like every game is a must-win in the playoffs, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if they lose tonight, I'm going to lose the level of confidence I had in this series. But a win tonight, and regardless of what happens, I know I joked about it before, like they can't lose Game 4 just to win at home in Game 5. A win tonight will completely demoralize this Cavs team. You saw it. They already may be demoralized. I thought the most telling point was, I forgot what point in the game it was. I'm drawing a blank, but when Harden comes around the left side and Mitch swats the ball 30 rows deep, there is a shot of the Cavs bench just looking like, OG hits that three in the middle of the third quarter. I think the game had gotten to 6 or 7, and he hits the three to get it back to 10 or 11. And you could just see the Cavs are just, there was never a look in their face that they had control and were able to come back in that game. And you look at the level of confidence the Knicks played with throughout all of Game 1. I never felt when they were struggling that it was any more than, they were leaving guys open because they were overextending on the doubles and they weren't knocking down their shots. Their three-point shooting was so horrendous before the fourth quarter. But there never was they weren't hanging their heads. There was one point where Jordan Clarkson fouled somebody in the corner and he kind of put his hands on his head. That was maybe the closest thing I saw to that. But there was a confidence in this Knicks team. The Cavs do not have that. Outside of Donovan Mitchell and at times Max Strus, it looked like he fouled out on purpose to get away from Jalen Brunson. They don't have that. And every time Brunson, it's a tough shot. You see it eat away at their souls. James Harden's just out there chilling. He's just doing his thing. I've never seen somebody more talented just look like he could care less when things go wrong. But tonight's a night, and there's a lot of credit to go around. Leon Rose, obviously the players, but I'm looking at Mike Brown and the adjustments he makes and the proactiveness that he's been able to make an adjustment before something catastrophic happens. And I know it feels like they made an adjustment in that series against the Hawks, being down 2-1. But at the end of the day, they were down 2-1. And that may have been a reaction to that. But I do think after that, we've seen it at times. In that Sixers series, having to react to Cat not being able to stay on the court because of foul trouble and having to react to, OG getting hurt and those things and being proactive. In Game 1 of this series, sitting down Josh Hart, who has been one of your stalwarts on this team. Not a star, but a reliable, spark and a guy who hustles and does all the dirty things, and realizing that you needed something different. And Landry Shamet came in and provided outside shooting and excellent defense. He's been fantastic when he's in the game on Mitchell, at times on Harden or Strus. And then the ability to also then go back to Game 2 and sticking with yourself to trust Josh Hart. Mikal Bridges being awful the first 3 games of the playoffs and not getting away from Mikal Bridges, and if anything, trying to instill confidence in him. And he's been the Knicks' best player maybe after Brunson since Game 3 of the first round. Obviously, OG being hurt has a lot to do with that because he was maybe their best player up until his injury. But that has been what Mike Brown has done. Experimenting in the regular season, even if it meant that you may lose a game, so that when the postseason comes around, you're not throwing guys out there in roles they're not familiar with. There's little things that every game I point to, and I'm like, I don't know who's calling that, but that's been great. Jose Alvarado has not played a lot in the postseason. It feels like when he plays, it's been super impactful. Jordan Clarkson has had games where he's had minimal minutes and games where he's played a decent amount of time, and he's been impactful. I mentioned the Landry Shamet aspect. Him, and I did think it cost them a bit in Game 3 because somebody who doesn't like to adjust to the hack-a-Mitch strategy, I did feel like in Game 3. It obviously didn't hurt them. I mean, in Game 1, it didn't hurt them in that third quarter. But it felt like it was. And it's the one time I actually think that hacking a bad free throw shooter works when you're up big and you're trying to kill that momentum and you're taking away points from them now. If he's only hitting one or he's hitting none, I think early in the game or like late and close is a bad time to do that. But he's adjusted to those moments. He's been able to change the flow of the offense and the identity of the offense game to game. And I think that's been the unpredictable nature of the Knicks offense has been so beneficial to them, whether it's Cat initiating the offense and flourishing, or Cat initiating the offense even when he struggles, or Brunson playing through Brunson, or finding ways to get Bridges and OG going. It's been super beneficial to them. I don't think they were running the offense through Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart just caught the NBA Jam, he's on fire mode. And after that first quarter, he was just, if he was open, he was taking it. He was getting to the rim. He was stealing the ball. It was incredible. I was on my way down to the Jersey Shore for the kickoff to summer. I left at halftime, but I watched most of the game, obviously on my phone. So, I'm like a crazy person sitting there, the most unsafe I probably have ever been, walking with my head down on my phone. But I'm losing my mind because Josh Hart's knocking down a three on the other end. He's getting a steal, and he's initiating the offense. Mike Brown has been so tremendous. And I think the fan base is fully bought in on Mike Brown. I think a lot of people, specifically the older generation, they did not want to buy into Mike Brown. And any chance they got to criticize him, to uplift Tom Thibodeau, they did. But I truly believe that he has changed this team to the point that their ceiling is non-existent. They could go further than any Knicks team has ever gone. And I'm not saying, I think the Spurs they match up with tremendously. If they play the Thunder, they're not going to be favorited. It's not going to be a series I'm walking into confidently. But there is a feeling that maybe last year I felt like, they would get to the finals. I don't know if they could beat the Thunder. Well, I feel like they could beat anyone on any given night the way this team plays at their height. And they have to get there. They haven't even gotten there yet. If they are to win an NBA title this year, they could go down. Just statistically, you can argue whatever you want to argue, the manner in which they're winning games as one of the more dominant teams in the postseason to win an NBA title. But it starts tonight. Got to get number 3, and hopefully Monday, or I guess game 5 would be Wednesday. Got to take the 2 of the next 3. I would like to see them just take the next 2. 888-808-1019. My guy kicking us off with the Knicks, Joey Clams. What's up?
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? And what a great show. It's an honor and a pleasure to speak to you. Before I get to my Nick point, and I congratulate you on your news.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Joey.
Yeah, I want to tell you something before that. But,
okay.
Listen, these young guys, these players out there, you know what? Whatever you do, it's going to be in the newspaper. It's going to be, and you know what? 90% of it's probably not even true. Believe me, because I know my name has been in the paper. And you know how many times I'm like, that's never happened.
Right.
And you know what? And
I'm
Anthony,
sure for drastically different reasons, Joey.
Yeah. But you know what it is, too? And I was told, too, Joe, learn, you know what? You're going to find out for yourself. It's a hard thing. Karma comes back, and they're going to have to learn from themselves, and they're going to learn the hard way. And, Anthony, congratulations on your wedding in your lifetime with you and your fiance. May
I appreciate you.
Be champagne. And I got to tell you, this is very important because I know they're going to be throwing this at you. You'll be probably getting orders thrown at you left and right. You always say this: don't ever tell me what to do, and don't tell me what not to do.
I might, Joey. I might be too far gone on that one. I appreciate you, Joey.
All right. Well,
thank you, my man.
Listen, here comes the problems with the wedding. Ask your father what's going to happen now. This one with that one.
Oh, it started the Monday after.
Come and tell them.
It's already started.
Table.
I appreciate you, Joey. They're going to be taking the centerpieces are going to be a big note here. Big Italian wedding. You know how it is with them. Update, and I'm not getting back into this more. Abdul Carter has tweeted, me and JD6, for those of you that don't know, Jaxson Dart, are good. We spoke earlier as men. Y'all could keep your narratives. See? It's already starting. That's a good sign. Good for him. Should have did it at first, but good for him. if you lose, the narratives, that word narratives, is going to be said a lot by Giants players. The narratives you guys are spinning. We're 1-6, but that's not because of the narratives. But we're talking about the Knicks here. Enough with the Giants. Enough with the Giants. You infected my beautiful day. 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. Chris in Lake Grove. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, Anthony. Just like your previous caller, I wanted to start off by congratulating you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I knew when Big Mac was on the other day solo and he said he had big Anthony Gallo news, I knew it was coming because I remember years ago, I guess when you started dating your fiance, you had said on a show that you had stopped smoking weed because of her. I was like, oh, this man's getting married someday.
Well, yeah, partially. That's like half true. There was other reasons why I stopped, but yes, it was I still indulge occasionally. More the gummy side, but it's definitely not as free. Also, you know how it is. You get older and you got to get stuff done. I can't be drooping away.
I hear you, man. I just turned 40, so I get it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, though. That's very kind. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime somebody finds somebody they want to spend the rest of their life with and they say yes, it's a big deal. So, I've always got a kick out of you on air when you get your opportunities. But anyway, what I'm really calling about is tonight's Knicks game. I think they're going to, win this game by double digits in convincing fashion, essentially, end this series. And I'm expecting the reemergence of OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a big game out of Deuce McBride because he's been quiet since that, when he went off against Philadelphia.
Right.
So I think we're going to see big games out of these two guys. And just to finish off the call, congratulations again. And go New York, go New York, go.
Go New York, go New York, go. I love it. That's the vibe. We got to bring the vibes back. See, New York football infects it with its putridness. We got to get the vibes going here. And also to the OG point, I think last game it wasn't needed as much, and he did it a big 3. I forget when it was. I'm almost certain it was late in the third, but it was a single-digit lead. He hits a 3, and it was that moment where I was like, I think the Cavs are getting back in it, and OG comes down and hits a 3. I think the next possession, Donovan Mitchell hit a floater, and Mike Brown called a timeout, killed their momentum, and the Knicks went on to blow them out. I think OG, game 1, it took him to the fourth quarter to get going. And not that he was spectacular, but he was boxing out Jared Allen, which was a really underrated thing that wasn't going to show up in the stat sheet, but completely prevented them from second chances, from defensive rebounds, and that was big for the Knicks. He had a big bucket. He almost threw down that Superman dunk, which I thought was going to blow the entire arena up with how loud it would have been. But he really, I don't think, it's not that he didn't get going. I don't think there was ever a moment that he had to get going because of how well the team as a whole was playing and what Josh Hart was doing and how Brunson and Cat were having their moments at times. And Bridges obviously not as carrying the offense, but picking his moments. I expect him, the biggest thing I've always said with this team, and we saw it a lot the last month of the season, the first series and a half with OG, was they have a guy in OG that very few teams have. He is as elite a two-way player. I'm not saying he's a superstar, but when it comes to an offensive, defensive, for those of you that don't know what a two-way player is, he's as elite of a player there is at that. He's maybe the best on-ball defender in all of basketball at his size and his strength there. And he's also a very capable offensive player when he believes in himself and doesn't just wait for the game to come to him. At times, he needs to be aggressive. I think that we've seen that now for well over a month, even before the postseason started. He is an X factor that obviously Cat and Brunson, they matter, and the entire team matters as a whole. But when he's going, there's another element to this because it's not just, Cat and Brunson plus the teammates. If one of them is struggling, now you have OG who also could step up. And then Mikhail's been great, and Josh has been great outside of game 1 of the series. I didn't think he was bad. He just was holding them back offensively because he couldn't hit his shots. And he stepped up in a big way, and it mattered. And this team has really shown another level that they were there. They just couldn't show you enough because obviously it's the regular season. At times, maybe they're not buying in. Maybe they're experimenting. And maybe it just depends. On an off night, we saw what happened with the Pistons. They were amazing in the regular season. The postseason came and they struggled. Even in that first round, they struggled. Tobias Harris to go off, they lose to the Magic. and this is experience. And this is a Cavs team outside of Harden and Max Strus. This is the first time Donovan Mitchell's been in any conference finals. Max Strus obviously got there with the Heat, and he's not a leading player. And Harden's been there, I think, 3 times. Might be 4, but I know definitely 3. This is a very experienced Knicks team. Brunson's been there 3 times. Cat's been there 3 straight times. McHale's been there, I think, now twice. OG Anunoby's been there. He's been on a championship team. Obviously, it was not really important to that team, but there is experience that this team has, and they are learned from their mistakes. They've learned from their mistakes this season and this postseason. The only thing that game 1, I felt like there was a little bit of the negative that we always get from Karl Anthony Towns, but that quickly flipped. And he was able to the dumb fouls is really the only thing he hasn't shaken. But I feel like he gives his effort offensively. He gives his effort defensively. On the glass, when he is aggressive, it's not about the numbers. It's about the effect he has on the entire court. When you're boxing out Jarrett Allen, if you're not getting the rebound, but somebody on your team is, that matters. That's what I was saying about OG Anunoby. Being able to carry a something that's irrelevant to the stat sheet and you may not focus on, but he comes in game 1 and Jarrett Allen is not existed on the glass because OG is bodying him and doing a better job boxing out. So I'm excited, and tonight will be another, awesome night. I have a feeling that they're going to blow this Cavs team out, and maybe they steal game 4, but I just don't see it. And this Knicks team has the ability that even when they're down 15, 20 points, it doesn't feel like they're out because of the capability of Brunson to take over a game, because of the capability of Cat to take over a game, and the fact that no one on this team ever wavers. They have more shooting than they've ever had in the JB Leon Rose era. They have size. They're defensive. Honestly, their biggest defensive liability is Brunson, and they hide it very well. There's a lot to be excited about, and I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. They got 2 more games to get to the finals, and then we'll figure that out if they get there. 888-808-1019. JR in Somerville, what's going on, my guy?
Gallo, what's going on, brother?
What's up, dude?
You ready? Hey, I am as fired up as a Knicks fan that I've ever been, and I'm talking about almost 40 years of being a Knicks fan.
Right.
And this is, we're going into this tonight, and they're gonna win tonight. Cleveland's gonna be a buzzsaw, but listen, this is as good as it gets, brother.
It's the best, and listen, I don't have a lot of memories in the 90s. My basketball fandom really started in 99, 98 a little bit, but really that Larry Johnson, I don't remember that season a lot, but I do remember that postseason run and the Larry Johnson 4-point play. It's really after that I could really say I attach to, because it's what I remember. This is the most excited I've been. Outside of, a couple of Mets late postseason runs, 2 World Series, and my Broncos winning Super Bowls. This is the most excited I've been as a sports fan, period.
I will compare it to another run, this run here. The Giants, the first run in 2007, this team is coming together, congealing, just like that team did. I remember in the wild card weeks against Tampa Bay, whoever, we went into Lambeau, of course. That team that had question marks all year came together, and that's what I'm seeing from this Knicks team. Right. When we talk about the Knicks of the 70s, I didn't see them either. Just like, you may not have remembered all the 90s Knicks stuff.
Right.
But this is what I've heard about, DeBusschere and Willis Reed and Dick Barnett and Frazier, these guys. So I'm starting to see that, and I believe that Will Chamberlain is the guy in the Western Conference. I don't think he's going to get there after last night, but that's Wemby. So this is it's just like everything is coming back together, and I'm loving it. And tonight we're going to destroy these guys. I think that they're going to come out. They're going to try to be aggressive. I called Evan and I mentioned that Atkinson's got to use Schroeder or somebody. You can't let the Knicks or Jalen Brunson go past half court so fast. You know, when we lost to Miami and Indiana, these guys jammed us up. We were barely getting the ball across the timeline. We're just flying across half court. So I think the Cavs are going to try to pressure us, and we just play too many styles, brother. We're gonna work them.
Yeah,
we are going to work them.
That's the best. I appreciate it, JR. A great call as always. That's the thing. His last comment there, they play too many ways. The Knicks have too many different versions of offense and defensively, but offensively, they could throw at you. And when he was talking about like the early 70s Knicks and those 90s Knicks, I get it. I finally get it. Specifically the last 3 years. Because obviously you have that first year with Julius Randle. It was a weird time. We're coming out of lockdown, all that stuff, and the disappointment. And I didn't even, at that point, you kind of, after a week after the playoffs, you were like, man, that was incredible. And I had never felt that. I had 1 year with Melo because, obviously they run into the Celtics the first year and the Heat the second year. But I had that 1 year with Melo, and you never felt like they could go anywhere because they were just going to lose to the Heat the next round. This has felt different because for 3 years now, I felt like the Knicks could make a run. When they lost to the Heat, I felt like they could compete with the Celtics in the next round. When they lost to the Pacers the first time, I felt like they could compete. And then losing last year, obviously, was more detrimental to my health just because it felt like it. When they lost to the Pacers the first time, it was a disappointment and it was a failure. But they were so banged up that after a few months, I was like, all right, it's tough. They weren't going to overcome that again. Losing last year felt like they could have and then watching the Pacers take the Thunder to Game 7, it felt like a missed opportunity. And right now, they are in prime position. We didn't have to let down the full circle nature of winning Game 1 after being down as much as you were, after blowing Game 1 a year ago on the crazy Halliburton shot, all of that. And the feeling after that Halliburton shot, where I am a glass half full guy when it comes to my sports fandom. Even the teams I don't root for in this city, I'm usually glass half full. The feeling after that was not great. The vibe was not great. But then you come back big in that after blowing teams out, and you come back and take care of business in overtime. And then you take care of business in Game 2. This team feels locked in. The city's locked in. The team feels locked in. The coach feels locked in. Everything. They have to shut down the watch parties because we're so locked in. It's getting too crazy. But I understand now that feeling around the 90s and around those early 70s teams and the nature of just what the Knicks mean to the city. And then you have stars. This goes back to talking about the Giants. You have guys on this team. This Knicks team is very likable. They don't make excuses. They put the work in. As much as we crush Cat, he's never really made an excuse. He said some things that I didn't like, whether it was being so open about how he didn't feel right in the offense. That, again, being fair, I crushed him for that. And then I crushed Mike Brown's response to that. But they are a likable team. They put the work in. Brunson, you got Knicks fans that wanted to get rid of it. Oh, he's holding the team back. They're never going to win with a guy like that after the 2 losses to the Hawks. And what does he do? He shows you why he's the most clutch player in the sport. Cat, all the noise, having a great first round, giving you the moment you need. The foul's got to stop. We got that. Mikal Bridges has been enemy number 1 for Knicks fans now for 2 years outside of those 2 games for the Celtics. And what has he done this postseason? Since Game 4 of the first round, he's been excellent, 80% from the field, whatever the number was. Josh Hart, last year at the end of the year, Knicks fans were infuriated with Josh Hart. And look at where we are. Look at Jordan Clarkson. We felt like it was, at first, it wasn't the best signing, and he's transformed into a very efficient rebounding guard. He's obviously always been a good offensive player, a good defensive player, but he's now found this role and being able to crash the boards. They've done everything. You add Jose Alvarado, the spark. He's obviously a smaller piece to this puzzle, but he's supposedly, he's got the voice of the veterans. They said in Game 1, he was the guy who had everyone locked in and staying confident. You obviously see the video of Brunson, but Alvarado gives you these small moments, and they're effective. And then you look at, a guy like Mitchell Robinson who's out there and he's always giving it his all. He's throwing bows. He's being physical. The longest tenure Knick in almost 2 decades. It just feels different. It feels special. And I know they're going to lose a game eventually. Could be tonight. I don't think it's coming. But even if they lost game 4, they're going to lose a game eventually. But I have this feeling that they can respond. They responded last year. Tibbs always had this team ready to go. We could disagree about, his coaching styles and stuff like that, his game plan. They were always ready to go. But this core is ready to respond, but they're responding in a way that we don't have to sweat it out for 3 quarters. We feel like they're in it. Obviously, game 1, outlier. But they're coming out the gate. One of our biggest complaints throughout the season was them coming into big games and not getting the job done and coming in slow. They're one of the best fourth quarter teams. I think they might statistically be the best fourth quarter team in the entire NBA this year. And it shows. It's an exciting time. And for guys like me, I'm 34, this is a first. As far as my fandom goes, this is one of maybe 4 teams I could think of that I truly have a confidence walking into every game that I haven't had in a long time. 888-808-1019. Jimmy in Warren County. What's going on, Jimmy?
Gallo!
What's up, dude?
Oh, I'm feeling it, bro. I got my Warrior paint on.
Let's
I got
go.
my Timberlands on. I'm at my boy's house. I just pulled up. Yo, we're the big dogs now, Gallo. You know that, right?
Right, the big dogs.
We are the big dogs now. We're not worried about
DAWG.
nothing. Yo, bro. Hey, the caller before touched on it. Tonight is the triple OG night. He's loose. He's warm. It's time to put him down.
Yep.
Don't let him up. OG's coming up big tonight, bro.
Yep.
I could feel it.
And if they don't get it, I don't care what happens in game 4, if the Cavs don't get it tonight, they could start looking at vacation spots. Because I already think it's over. They lose tonight. And if they lose big tonight, it's over. That is
I got supreme confidence, bro.
I have
supreme.
The most confidence I could have right now in a team. I feel it. I love it, Jimmy. I love the energy. And everyone's like, they haven't won anything yet. Okay, what are we supposed to make? No, okay. Don't celebrate. Can't be happy. If you can't enjoy this, and it's whatever. If you're not a fan of the team, fine. I get it. That's sports banter. I get it. If you are a Knicks fan and you can't enjoy this, you're not a Knicks fan. Of course, they haven't won anything yet. Yet is the key word. But they can. And it's not just about what they've done recently. It's been the culmination of everything. They improved over last year defensively. A lot of you don't want to believe it because it's not Tibbs at the helm. They improved defensively, and they've shown it. They are a scary defensive team. As much as we love to talk about the Western Conference, and they owned the Spurs in the regular season. Don't get it twisted. Mitchell Robinson is a unicorn defensively in the same facet of a Rudy Gobert. There's no stopping Wemby, but he can frustrate him. And he doesn't have to pull anyone's hair either, like Isaiah Hartenstein. But all this talk about the Thunder being unbeatable, the Knicks match up pretty well with both of those teams. With the amount of defenders they could throw at guys, beyond the amount of offense this team has. With Mikal Bridges, this is also before Mikal even got going. But now Mikal Bridges is playing the way he is. This was the picture Leon Rose was painting. And that artwork is almost done. The picture's almost clear. Framed. 2 wins away to getting the finals. 6 from raising the Larry O'Brien. And in soccer terms, winning the double, the NBA Cup, the Larry O'Brien. More in that, we'll talk about some things that do scare me as far as, if I'm being honest, looking at the Knicks and the Cavs. We'll get into that after the break. Anthony Gallo on The Fan.
The Yankees play the Rays. 1:35 tomorrow afternoon.
Going, and go!
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the action. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM, 660 AM, and always available en Espanol with Ricky Ricardo on the Odyssey app.
On health, we know there really is no place like home. That's why we get our surgery patients home faster and have fewer readmissions than any other health system.
That means once you're home, you won't need to go back for the same procedure. Instead, you can get back to the things you love. And the next time you need something else, we're here. Better health starts with a better health system. Learn more at nyulangonehealth.org.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
You look like you could use a refresher, a Dunkin' refresher. Try Dunkin's delicious black cherry or berry acai refreshers. One sip and you'll feel refreshed. There's so many delicious flavors like mango, pineapple, or strawberry dragon fruit. So whether you're powering through your day or just pulling up for a little treat, make it a Dunkin' refresher. Dunkin' refreshers, they're the perfect summer pick-me-up. Dunkin' refreshers are fruit-flavored, contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Terms and exclusions may apply.
Whenever water damage strikes your home or business, call on the cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was just at Staples. They're having a huge 40th anniversary sale.
40 years. Note to self, send flowers.
Up to 50% off. Save on chairs, paper, balloons, and more.
Balloons?
Yeah, Party City is now at Staples.
Surprise!
But the anniversary sale is only 2 weeks, so...
Quick, celebrate 40 years of savings at Staples with up to 50% off. Shop chairs, paper, break room supplies, and more. 2 weeks only. It's 5/23.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app.
Hey, Metro New York. Ready for real savings? Switch to Allstate today. Because drivers who switched saved an average of $713 on their auto insurance. So, what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for an auto insurance quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. Based on the national average annual savings for new customers surveyed in 2024, savings vary, subject to terms and availability.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Everybody loves a win. And with the New Jersey Lottery, the next winner could be you. Play today at a New Jersey Lottery retailer near you. Because anything can happen in Jersey.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
It's the Memorial Funbelievable event at Nielsen Dodge.
You can lease a new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram for $299 or under.
Choose from hundreds of new Jeeps, Chryslers, Dodges, and Rams.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $299 a month. Yes, just $299 per month.
Or choose from hundreds of certified pre-owned vehicles. Plus, we'll give you top dollar for your trade-in.
Under $299, that's Funbelievable.
Drive away today for just $299 or under on Route 10 in East Hanover, online at nielsendodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Declaration of Deal Sales Event. With approval, term 36 months, due at signing, $52.99, add tax time, $4.98 NOC, and DMV fee.
The Boomer and Geo Show is brought to you by FanDuel. This is your reminder to check in daily because every day during the NBA playoffs, FanDuel is serving up happy hour. We're talking special drops you're not going to want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. For a new reward every single day of the NBA playoffs, and don't miss your shot to get a little extra out of the action. Head to FanDuel.com/New York to get started. That's FanDuel.com/New York. We all love the app around here because it's safe and secure and has all the betting markets you could possibly want. And when you win, you do get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
HSS is ranked number 1 in orthopedics for 16 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report, and is the official hospital of the New York Mets. When you choose HSS, you're receiving the best orthopedic care you can get. From the first pitch to the final out, every swing, slide, and stride matters, and our specialists provide expert care to help athletes of all levels recover faster and return to the game stronger. Most major insurance plans are accepted. Learn more or make an appointment at hss.edu.
Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And that's not always an easy thing for me to achieve, but my friends at CertaPro Painters, they had no such problems. Big jobs or small, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call now at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today and get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn app.
Listen, I'm very confident about where this team is going, what they're setting up for. The thing that scares me, and it's a small thing, but the Knicks have kind of survived by allowing the ancillary pieces of the Spurs to kind of live wide open. The first game, it kind of killed them. Max Strus and they're not, again, these guys are not going to, absolutely be the reason why they win, but you're not going to get a lot of Max Strus and Sam Merrill shooting 1 of 11 from 3. It's just not going to happen. I do think it's a weird, and Dean Wade a little bit, but those other two guys can really shoot. And the same way we saw Landry Shamet make the Knicks or make the Cavs pay previously, it does scare me a bit. I would rather let them beat you, but it is something that if they got hot, I wouldn't be shocked if this game is coming down to the wire and the Knicks are on the wrong side of it, even if I do feel pretty good about where they're going. And it's not like they're facing a team. James Harden is going to be a Hall of Famer. He's done a lot of incredible things, and he is truly an incredible talent, but he is one of the biggest shrinkers, for lack of a better word, in big moments, the biggest chokers in NBA history, maybe the biggest choker in NBA history. And then Donovan Mitchell this is the first time he's in the Eastern Conference Finals, and he's a guy who struggled against Jalen Brunson-led teams. He's a guy who, not because of him, but has been a part of a lot of teams that have fallen short of expectation in the postseason. They were the number 1 seed last year. And they got beat. 2 years prior to that, they almost lost to the Magic before losing to the Celtics. So I'm not sitting here thinking that, this is a team with a pedigree. This is a team with guys who have proven that they can take their team over the top. When the Knicks were up 2-0 on the Celtics, and I had this thought, though, that, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, Derek White, those are guys. I know Derek White's not a superstar, but those are guys that can put this team over the top. As much as I don't like Halliburton, he was a guy who I felt could carry his team over the top. I've been very critical of him, but it's undeniable at this point he was a guy that could put him there. Donovan Mitchell is an immense talent. He's a superstar. He hasn't done it. He's had a lot of small moments in the postseason, and I'm not going to call him a choker, but game 1, he's non-existent in the 4th. And we know the story about James Harden. We know the story about Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. And Jarrett Allen's been very good this series. The 2 games, he's been fine. But he's not the guy who's going to win you the series. Evan Mobley has been a disappointment in his growth, and I just don't have that fear that this team is going to be able to put together 4 wins. And C-Mac said it best. I'm sure it's been said otherwise, but C-Mac said it to Fanta when we had him on the Carton Show the other day. They have to win 5 games, essentially, the Cavs. Like, they won game 1 and they choked it away. They got to win another 4 now. They got to win 4 out of 5 games. That's ridiculously hard. And, again, I'm not saying it's going to be the reason why the Knicks lose, because I still can see them winning. Leaving guys wide open that are good three-point shooters, I think, is a tough strategy. But you're not changing what got you here. They're going to attack the ball handlers, whether it's Harden or Mitchell, at the point of attack. They're not going to wait for them to get to the rim. And they're going to hope that their size and length with guys like Mitch and Cat and to an extent OG are going to be able to slide over and mask those deficiencies. And they'll leave the guys open in the corner or the elbow that are role players. And maybe part of my fear with like a Max Strus is, he's killed the Knicks in the past with the Miami Heat. And he's one of those guys that just feels like a thorn in your side. But it's all orange and blue skies right now, and I am fired up. 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. Val in the Bronx. What's going on, Val?
My man Anthony, the good Gallo. How you doing, Don?
What's up, dude?
Yo, my man, I'm going to tell you straight up, all right? With the rain out at the time it changed, but I saw your name on the schedule. I literally wrote out something that I wanted to read to you.
Okay.
Right? But if I can, though, just real quick, I wanted to say something just before I read it to you about that tips thing that you said.
Uh-huh.
Because I as somebody who was one of the few voices that I heard when it happened when he got released a while back when we fired him, right? I was one of the few people that actually called and thanked him for everything that he did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was somebody who welcomed, understood, and was comfortable with the transition that our CEO, Leon Rose, we trust.
Yes.
And the owner, James Dolan, were about to make when they got rid of him. Okay, but that being said, I just want to say Tibbs is still relevant because he is the formative voice that's actually playing in the back of their minds when Brown tries to make his adjustments and execute things. And by that I mean Tibbs is like that master class just before you get put out into the workforce. He was the one that provided and put that foundation that has that grit and that toughness.
Right.
And that ability and relentlessness that they show every night.
Val,
so as much as I give credit to Mike Brown for pushing the buttons that he's pushing, the reason why he can push those buttons is because a lot of what they learned when Tibbs was there. And that goes even for the guys that came onto the squad post-Tibbs, because the core that's there, the leaders that are there, know how to put that message that they learned back then onto those new guys.
Right. Val,
right?
You're so right. And it's true. Tibbs set the culture. Tibbs,
and now if
you're okay there, Val? Are you?
Yeah. No, there's like a fire truck coming through. I really want to read this to you because once I knew you were on, I wrote this out last night just so I could say it to you.
All right.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so let me say, right now, I'm at a point where everything that I'm seeing is just amazing. The collective ability of my team to be able to answer the different and difficult questions they are being asked by their opponents is, like I said, amazing. Again, collectively, we are a talented, capable, tested, intelligent, and finally confident enough group to read and react to what the game itself presents to us. They are becoming really good at being comfortable when their opponents try to put them in uncomfortable situations. Offensively, we are taking whatever the defense gives us and are comfortable playing on the margins once we figure out what it is exactly that their defense is trying to do to us. And defensively, we're taking their preferred options and doing everything necessary, no matter what it is, to get the ball back. Last time I talked to you, right, I gave you a reference and a shout to that Bet365. I love the ads. I'm not even somebody that gambles on that site, but I love the ads. I use them as mantras sometimes during my day to get me through things. I'm going to say something to you right now. We are trying to find nirvana, and so long as we keep putting our best foot forward, hopefully we will win.
That's
My
right.
man, the good Gallo.
That's right, Val.
Beautiful, beautiful night, and I am so looking forward to tonight's game. I don't care what happens. I just know that we have what we need to keep pushing through.
Val,
have a good night, Gallo.
Beautiful, Val.
Have a good one, man.
I love it. The great Val in the Bronx. He gets it. It's poetic. I'm not even going to lie. Even right now, I get chills thinking about game one. Goosebumps. I had the best moment of my life this past weekend. Not this weekend, but the past weekend. I got engaged to somebody who I love truly. And it almost felt like poetic the way the Knicks came back. And that had me on cloud nine no matter what. But that Knicks win, same thing. It just felt like everything is the same way that I feel like my life is a lot of great things have happened. Everybody can complain about something. We all have something we can complain about. But that win was the best win of my lifetime. And I'm not comparing the two. What I did last weekend will trump anything. Obviously, getting married will be up there. But like getting engaged to the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with was the best moment of my life so far. Maybe right after that is hosting here on the Fan, which has also been a dream come true. But to put it into perspective, that Knicks win on Monday was so special in my sports fandom. Like, at the end of the day, the sports, it's fun. It's an escape. It's not supposed to be not fun. It's not supposed to, drag you down. And the way that the Knicks vibe has just been everything you love about this. The city, I get it. It's been a little rowdy outside of MSG. There is a special feeling. You get this with the Mets. It's not the same with football because they don't play in the 5 boroughs, and there's so many different, like myself included, non-New York sports fans with that. With baseball, it's the Mets or the Yankees. When they're in the playoffs, you feel it. You feel that energy. With the Knicks, and it happens with the Rangers too, when the Knicks are there, it's a different vibe. I'm walking around my neighborhood in Brooklyn. I'm wearing my Knicks gear, and people are fired up. I'm coming to work here. The guy at the Chinese spot over here, King Wok, the 2 construction workers, I see them on Wednesday. They're like, wear that proudly, bro. Everywhere you go, the vibes are just different. And you see, I know these kids. Good for them. Let them have fun outside the garden. I get if there's a problem, NYPD knows more than me, so I respect it. But like the one thing I'll notice is there's a lot of different people in that crowd. A lot of different looking people, age-wise, ethnicity, and they're all just out there. And the vibes are awesome. And if it's special, I have not experienced this. I've seen the Mets, I've seen the Yankees a ton. I make runs, and when the Yankees are good, the city vibes. I get it. And when the Mets are good, there's a vibe. This is special because I haven't experienced. I didn't experience the 90s when I was, the 99 team that made the finals. I was so young. That wasn't what I was thinking about. You know what I mean? It was just fun. This is different, and it's exciting, and there's a real, love for this team and a confidence. And also, shout out to the chat on YouTube. Bacon and Egg says, everyone's better than Brunson until it's time to beat Brunson or be better. That's been like the quote going around social media. It's the truth. They'll tell you. I've argued with people here in this newsroom telling you, like, yes, I'm not going to lie. When they got Brunson, I thought Brunson was great. I thought it was weird they went all in on him. And I was wrong. I also was wrong about OG. Not that I didn't like OG as a player. I thought they gave up too much. But now it feels like a steal. But everyone will tell you they can't win with Brunson as their number one. He's too tiny. He's not truly a 1A. He's not this. He's not that. And he doesn't pass the ball enough. He's too selfish. It's all about him. His dad's the coach on the team. And all this guy goes is make all the doubters. Now everyone's singing his praises. All he does is dominate. And he's a winner. Yes, he hasn't won anything in the NBA yet. But he's a winner. And these 3 guys, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson, can do something very special. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, if there was a team, not like the 50s or 60s where the league was so tiny, but winning national titles and then coming to the NBA and winning a Larry O'Brien will be a special story in its own. But what Brunson can do here is not just, prove his doubt is wrong, but also prove a narrative of the NBA that really hasn't ever been true. AI got close. There's been guys who got close, but a small guard being your number one and being your leader. Yes, there's a lot of talent on this team. He's not doing it alone. But it'd be something special. And he is. I think that it's safe to say he is entrenched in that top 10 conversation. And he is closer to the top 5 than people give credit to. And I know people, he's never won an MVP. That's a popularity contest. He's not better than SGA. He's not better than Wemby and the guy and Jokic at times when obviously they deserve it. But he hasn't even he's gotten 1 vote. That's how much I don't put stock into. I put stock into winning the award, yes, because it takes a special player to win that. I'm not putting stock into what the voters think of him. And Jaylen Brown's getting votes over him. And Jaylen Brown's an excellent player. 1 year, Sabonis got votes and Brunson didn't. I don't care about that. And he has a chance to cement himself, not just in Knicks lore, but in New York City lore, if they get to the promised land. He's already the best player that I've ever seen where, again, I'm 34. Patrick was hobbled when I saw him. He was hobbled. So I'm not disrespecting Patrick Ewing. I'm saying in my Knicks fandom, he is far and wide the best player to suit up for the Knicks. To be fair, as a Met fan too, he might be, out of my New York sports fandom, the best player to suit up for either one of those teams. 888-808-1019. We'll continue this conversation one more hour until the great Ricky Ricardo at 8 o'clock. Isaiah Thomas, thank you in the chat, but that was, what was that, the early 90s, late 80s. That is the last time someone in that position has done that. So thank you. Shout out to whoever. That Drew is awesome in the chat. That good shout. Thank you. We got a lot more to get to. We'll continue the next conversation. We'll up the excitement a little bit. We'll get into the Yankees and Mets conversation as well. Anthony Gallo on the Fan till 8 o'clock.
It's Evan and Tiki middays on the Fan. 1019 FM.
We had this conversation 3 weeks ago. Who was going to be the most talked about person in this series? Ultimately, it might end up being Jalen Brunson, depending on how he plays in this Cavaliers series. But I think Mike Brown is, which is what I said then and what I'm going to say again, is so important to making this series a victory for the Knicks.
Well, coaching matters. Get Evan and Tiki on demand. Available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and the free Odyssey app.
The 2026 U.S. Open Championship returns to the iconic Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Experience greatness live in the Hamptons. Get your tickets now on SeatGeek.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Looking for a great deal to stay connected? Now, for a limited time, new Verizon mobile and home customers can get Fios and a line of mobile for just $69.99 a month with AutoPay. Get Fios 300 megabit per second for $20 a month and unlimited welcome for $50 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more and switch. For new Fios, internet, and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Additional terms apply. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
A cool and crisp Modelo taste.
La Playa awaits this weekend. Be sure to stock up on ice-cold Corona at John Sullivan's on West 35th Street. Then sit back, relax, and soak up the good weather. Great vibes and New York basketball. Turn anywhere you enjoy the game into your own beach. La Playa awaits. Must be 21. Relax responsibly.
Witness history at Citi Field on Saturday, May 30th, as Lee Mazzilli and Bobby Valentine are inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame in an on-field ceremony before the 4:10 p.m. game. Don't miss this special day. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets.
Many tire dealers will sell you Falcon tires, but Town Fair Tire doesn't just sell Falcon tires, they sell them at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, they give you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. That's an unbeatable deal only Town Fair Tire can offer, because Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
The all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5 is designed to give you more of what matters. More passenger space and headroom for greater comfort. More cargo space, a lower lift-in height, and a standard power liftgate on every model. More connectivity with Google built-in integration, plus Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Balancing style, advanced technology, and craftsmanship in a family-friendly SUV that delivers exceptional value. Get more with the all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5, the smart choice. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
To get your AC system ready to run at peak efficiency and save on energy costs this summer, go with Petro. Call 844-HVAC-4YOU now to schedule your AC tune-up. Petro's expert technicians can tune up and repair AC systems from all major brands to help prevent future breakdowns and potentially costly repairs. For a stress-free AC summer, go with your local HVAC pros. Go with Petro. Book your AC tune-up now. Go to petro.com, call 844-HVAC-4YOU or 844-482-2496 today.
I'm Barry Colstein. I am a violin maker. Precision is part of my profession. 5 years ago, when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I chose CyberKnife. CyberKnife only hit the tissue that was affected by the cancer. Treatment was 5 days, virtually no side effects. I'm healthy, and I'm basically cured.
For an appointment, call NYU Langone's Perlmutter Cancer Center at 833-1-CYBER. That's 833-ONECYBR.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done inside and out at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today to carsforkids.org. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
I had a little bit of, fears going into tonight's game. I told you what they were last break. But after seeing what I've just seen on social media, the Cavs are cooked. The Cavs are cooked. Cavs sent the tweet at 5 o'clock. Here is the caption. New round, new rules. And on this list of new rules for Cavs fans, it says, 1, wear the damn shirt. If you're in the building, you're in uniform. Playoff tee on from tip to final buzzer. Okay. You made the shirts. You want people to wear them. Number 2, let them know. No warm welcomes in our house. From the first opposing intro, we drown them out with Let's Go Cavs. Number 3, we all defend the land, except for James Harden. When the opponent has the ball, you know the call. Scream defense. Thank you. I mean, some people forget. It's a hard chant to remember. Number 4, make them miss. During free throws, we do everything in our power to distract the opponent until the ball leaves their hand. Number 5, the 4th, we close together. Donovan Mitchell and James Harden must have missed that one. Nobody sits or lets up. We wave rally towels and bring the energy until the final buzzer. Why would you tweet that? Why? And me and Connor were talking about it off air. This is not Philly or Boston. This is in Brooklyn. These aren't places that are easy to get to. Cleveland is not an easy trip. Yes, I'm sure to fly it's easy, and I think it's like a 15-hour drive. If I made the drive from Chicago, I forget. I think it's like about 15 hours. But this isn't it's not a hub city. It's not a place where a lot of New Yorkers live. That's brutal. Already in their heads, the game hasn't even started.
They might get their Sports City moniker revoked, too.
Yeah.
How do you have to tell your fans to root for their team
in
a playoff game?
In a playoff game. How do you have to tell them that the shirt thing, fine. Whatever. You made the shirts. I get it. It's like my mom. I bought you the damn shirt. Wear it. But defense? You got to tell them to chant defense? And let's go Cavs? Listen.
Distract them during free throws?
Yes. Okay, thank you. You think there's a guy there that's going to look at Twitter in the second quarter like, oh, my God. I completely forgot about defense.
I've been being quiet for no reason.
I've been sitting here. I forgot. It's a playoff game. Thank you, social media person at the Cavs. There's got to be somebody there that knows that was a bad look. That's got to be like the Dan Gilbert, like, you got to put this out. We need that out. And listen, the Garden's been taken over a lot. I've been at games with Steph Curry or whoever. Nets fans, when the Nets were really good and the Knicks weren't, and they had KD, they took over the building. It's happened. It's never happened in the playoffs, and it's never happened where we needed somebody to remind us. Even Miami, as much as I love to crap on that fraudulent sports city, that Miami, beautiful city, fraudulent sports city, they've never had to remind their fans, who most of them are just at the nightclub in the arena anyway, which is a cool feature, very Miami, but they didn't have to remind them that when Knicks fans were showing up there, hey, chant defense. Wear the T-shirt. That's a bad look.
Just a reminder, Cavs fans, don't root for the team in blue and orange.
Yes, we are what are they? I guess maroon and gold. That's the team we are. Root for the team with the sword, not the Dutch guy. What are the Knicks? The Knicks don't even have the Dutch guy on their logo anymore. I'm throwing it back too far. But embarrassing. I'm pretty sure they don't do that when the Yankees and Cleveland play in the postseason. I'm sure they're not doing that when the Browns are getting smoked by 40. Rough. That's embarrassing. Embarrassing. New round. New rules. What's Cleveland's food thing? Do they got a food thing? I don't know. I know Cincinnati, they eat gross spaghetti with chili on it. That is rough. How do you...
Apparently big on corned beef there.
Corned beef.
And pierogies.
Oh, okay. I like it. I take it back. Again, I've never been to Cleveland. I look at Cleveland as a good sports town. That's rough. Rough. If LeBron comes back, you're going to have to remind people to cheer for LeBron? Come on. 888-808-1019. Ramon in Flushing. What's up, Ramon?
I'm all in, Anthony.
Let's go.
I'm wearing my number 30 Bernard King jersey.
I love it.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Let's do it.
Before I get into my fandom to show my true grit, I want to congratulate you on your upcoming nuptials.
I appreciate you.
You know, because that's a big deal. There's 3 rings. You get the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. But I appreciate that, Ramon. Thank you very much.
Listen, but you guys made me feel so old. Obviously, besides Boomer Esiason, I think I'm older than every host that's on this show. And I love all you guys. You guys are very knowledgeable. But you don't see sports the way I did, you know. I've been a fan in every sport, never mind the Knicks, in all 4 sports, since 1976. When I first started watching the Knicks, Clyde Frazier played for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh. You believe that? So let me ask you this, Ramon. So you did not get to see them win their last title, right?
No, I was only 3 years old.
Okay, right. All right, so rough.
They've won in my lifetime, but I've never seen them win.
So that's it's like me. I saw, Patrick was beat up in 99, and then did he go to the Sonics, then the Magic? But I don't have those memories. I have to live off of old VHS tapes and what my cousins and my dad would tell me about Pat. So I feel you there, but that's crazy.
All right, well, I'll tell you. I'll get on Patrick Ewing in 3 seconds. Just give me 3 seconds. My first Knick hero was Michael Ray Richardson. He was a great point guard.
Yep.
But he had drug problems. You know that.
Right.
But
well, that's a lot of those.
He could have been the next Magic Johnson.
A lot of those late 70s, early 80s hoopers
and
had.
Bernard King came. He was from Brooklyn. I was ecstatic. And he was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. I remember when he scored the 50-50 back-to-back. I listened to it on the radio. It was crazy. And then he blew out his knee, you know. And that was the next year we got Patrick Ewing.
And that was one of those, obviously I'm just going off of what I've read in history, and it felt like I couldn't imagine being a Knicks fan. You get Pat, and Bernard obviously was there but injured, correct?
Right. But he was the greatest player in basketball for 2 years.
Right. I mean, he had some gaudy numbers, and he was putting up numbers when it wasn't easy to put those numbers up.
So then we got Patrick Ewing, and when we got Patrick Ewing, in my mind, I was like, well, that's guaranteed we'll get, championship. And I guarantee you, if Bernard King didn't blow out his knee and he got to play with Ewing, we would have won at least 2 championships. But he blew out his knee. But the thing that I love Bernard King more than I love Patrick Ewing, and I love Patrick Ewing, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But the thing is, as a St. John's fan, I hated him for 4 years.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean?
So
So it took a while for me to warm up to him.
Ramon, there is a lot of similarities here in our fandom because I'm a St. John's guy. And when I was at St. John's, it was the beginning of Jalen Brunson's career. Obviously, the second championship, I was already gone. The first one, I was there.
He was with Villanova.
And he killed St. John's. They all killed St. John's. And at that point, St. John's didn't sniff. They weren't good. They were a bad team. So I kind of respected them. But it was still, he had tortured me more than he had brought me, like, admiration. Even if I didn't hate Villanova, they were still a thorn in my side.
Patrick Ewing killed me more than. In fact, I remember in '85 when we made the Final Four. I got snuck into a bar. This is when the drinking age was 18, right before they changed it to 21.
Right.
So I was like 15, but I looked 18 because I had a mustache, So my older friends got into the bar, and I remember it was all wearing T-shirts that said, "Your mama's a Hoya."
That's outrageous. But and I appreciate the call, Ramon. That's hilarious. I'm glad. When so I graduated in that year. Brunson won the title. So obviously I'm not in school, but I went to I still go to as many. At that time I was single, and I'm just newly moved out of the house, and I'm living my life in New York. St. John's tickets are cheap because they stink, and that team steamrolled the Johnnies. Shamari Pons had beating them felt like my Super Bowl in the regular season. But now he's obviously it's all gravy, and it's funny because there is that aspect of it. Patrick Ewing's in the Garden battling with those great, when a different level of St. John's fandom too. Obviously, we're getting a little bit of that, but a different level. But it's exciting. And even the guys who saw those Knicks win in the 70s, this is special because that is 50-plus years ago. Even if you were somebody who lived through the 90s, like that's 30, some of that is 30 years ago. 94 is 30-plus years ago. What is 32 years ago? So it's an incredible time. Raphael in the Bronx. What's going on, Raphael?
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, man?
Let me start by saying that, all right, pretty good. Let me start by saying that I've been lucky that all my teams have won championships. I've been waiting on the Knicks.
Wow, thanks for rubbing it in there.
Unfortunately, in '94, I got so pissed off at the NBA for putting, changing the rules in '95, everything that made the Knicks successful. I haven't watched in about 30 years.
Oh.
My friend's been bothering me back into to come back in.
Come
I started watching this year.
The bandwagon's wide open. It's wide open.
Well, let me tell you, you guys have done a great job keeping me posted. I've listened to the fan every day, and you guys, I know what's happening with the team, but I actually haven't watched until this year.
Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate that.
The team is fantastic.
Oh, it's exciting, and it's funny you bring that up. I appreciate the call. I mean, listen, I obviously live and die. You live and die with your sports teams. And as a young kid, I've listened. In my yearbook, I said, what am I doing in 30 years? You do that thing. And it was married to Beyonce and working at the Fan. I upgraded on the first one. Obviously getting engaged last weekend, but I've upgraded on that one. But I am here. So, but listening to the Fan as a kid, they never talked about the Knicks because they were awful. When I was really young, they made the finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, and then they kind of regressed each year after that. And then they get swept by the Nets with Marbury, and then they're pretty irrelevant until Melo gets here. And even then, we talked about him. The Fan talked about him. But you listen to Mike, and then you go into these stretches where they, after, they lose to the Pacers in that round with Melo, they're not talked about really again until Porzingis is drafted or Frank Ntilikina is drafted, and then Porzingis is traded, and then the Phil Jackson debacle. It was never good. So it's exciting. Even though I'm here when, New York football is at the worst it's ever been, the Knicks have been pretty consistent in at least since I've been on air. I've been here 13 years, but at least since I've been on air. 888-808-1019. Richie in Queens. What's going on, Richie?
Hey, Anthony. Hey, congratulations on the
Thank you, Richie. Thank you so much.
Hey, look, all right. Now you're talking to a guy that goes back 1958 with the Knicks. So obviously I saw the 69 and 73.
Right. Very
and
cool.
Those teams were just phenomenal. And to see to think it's been 53 years. Excited about the team. You mentioned Brunson, and I brought it up the other day to C-Mac about the most athletic player you're ever going to see.
That's funny.
And I don't think I ever saw him dunk, but his body movement, the way he moves his feet, and people talk about him being the greatest acquisition as far as free agent for the Knicks. I agree, but I think he's one of the best in 30 years for anybody. He has just gone from what he was supposedly and how he's elevated himself to a top 5, top 6 MVP, because he's not going to beat out a Jokic. He's not going to beat out the Doncic and the Alexanders, true. But what he does for this team, he is just absolutely the MVP. But
100%. And I got and it's funny you bring up the athleticism, because it's what makes him so special. He's not flying over people. He's not the fastest guy on the court. They know what's coming and they can't stop it. He's a technically sound, fundamental, master at what he does. His footwork is impeccable. His handles are impeccable. But he's not out there outrunning people or out jumping people or out muscling people. But he still gets it done.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you watch him, he's got an edge to him too, Anthony. He's a good guy, but he's so tuned in. Like he'll fall down, somebody will offer to pick him up. He'll push their hand away. I like that about him, because I think, and he's not nasty at all. Matter of fact, I think they're one of the best guys to listen to as far as, just when they speak at the podium. They're all just terrific, a terrific team. And what the coach has done, and he doesn't get a lot of respect, because the guy has been a 2-time coach of the year. He was with the championship, with the Warriors.
Yep.
He knows
he's been
it.
in the finals.
He took a hit initially about his rotation, but his rotation's been impeccable. The fact, like you touched on it, that he sat hot, that's not easy to do, and go with the hot hand, bring in Shamet, which is a great move when the OG got hurt. And by the way, Bridges went from being like, oh my God, the worst pick ever, give up 5 picks for this guy, and you give him the ball, and defensively, their perimeter defense has been phenomenal. That's one of the reasons, too. I think they've elevated. But inside the paint, Anthony, he's a weapon. He's got that quick jumper. No, they're playing really, really good. They're going to have to play that well all the way through. And just to end it, tonight's game is big. Everybody's talking about them sweeping. Cleveland is a good team. I know Donovan sometimes he disappears a little bit, and obviously Harden has his issues, but this is a big game for them to win tonight.
It's 100%. I appreciate the call, Richie. I appreciate all the kind words as well. They have a lot of guys who are versatile, and it's not really thought about a lot, because when you think about Bridges, it's always he's a great defender, and then now he's been good offensively. But he's always been a guy who could score. He's not 100% getting his own shot. He's always been a guy who could score. Josh Hart is an excellent, do all the dirty things and get all the the hard, grit and grind stuff. But he's also been an excellent slasher. He gets to the rim with ease. And I know it's tough to believe, but he has shot really well from 3 outside of the postseason. In the regular season, I'm looking it up right now, he shot 41% from 3 during the regular season. So it's not like it's in game 1 when they were leaving him open. I want him shooting those open shots. It's what you got to trust what got you there. And now with Bridges, he's now believing in his game. OG for now, the last month of the regular season and the early postseason, has believed in his game more, and it's bled into them being, really efficient offensively. And when it comes to Brunson, like he said, he's never going to get 100% credit for the level of play he is, because he doesn't look the role, or his style of play is not there. But he's every bit as good as those guys who are MVPs. And I'm sorry, if he wins a title, that means something. As the number 1 guy, that means something. And they have to get there first, obviously. And I don't think he's better than Wemby or better than SGA. But when we talk about a guy like Luka Doncic, and I know he's dealt with a lot of injuries, there's a conversation to put him in the same class. Hasn't gotten there without Brunson on his team. Jokic has won one, and Jokic is also a guy who is criminally underrated when you think about all-time greats. That's how good the guy is. But if he gets one, he's an American-born. When you think about that, when you take away the best players in the league, because SGA and Wemby and Jokic and all that, a lot foreign-born. When it comes to American-born players, he's just as good as Jason Tatum. If he wins a ring, I'm sorry, they're in the same boat. I don't want to hear about the injuries because he had one before the injuries, and they lost a lot before the injuries as well. He is just as good as a guy like that. And Edwards. All we hear about is how spectacular Anthony Edwards is. He is the most clutch player in the sport. He is, I don't care if he's considered one of the best. I just want to win. I don't care if they don't consider him for an MVP ever. I just want to win. And if he wins in New York, his status as a player will go far beyond what the rest of the basketball world sees, because he will live in infamy in the greatest city in the world, in the greatest sports building in the world. And for Cat, and I thought about this the other day, if Cat could get to a finals, he gets so disrespected. It's his third straight Western Conference Finals. And if he gets to a finals and plays well and they win, he is one of the more successful number one overall picks in the last 40 years. There's a lot with this team. There's a lot of narratives, obviously, and it's a long road. They still got to win 6 more, and they're going to have to win 4, most likely against OKC, which is a deep team and which is nothing. They are a better team, but it does not mean the Knicks cannot compete and beat that team. Last year, I thought OKC was head and shoulders better than the Knicks and the Pacers. The Pacers took them to Game 7, and Halliburton gets hurt, so we don't know what comes of that. So there's a lot to look forward to, but there's a lot to get done. Joe in Manahawkin, what's going on, Joe?
Hey, how's it going, Anthony?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Congratulations on the engagement, my man.
I appreciate you, dude.
And honestly, bro, I'm a much younger Knicks fan than most of the guys that have been calling all day. I'm 22. I've been a diehard Knicks fan since probably 10 or 11 years old.
Right.
And honestly, I've been in my car the whole way home, probably like an hour. I've been getting emotional in my car, man. Right now, I've been getting emotional.
Joe,
just listening to all this positivity. I've never heard this once about my team.
Right.
Ever.
Joe,
I'm a huge Giants fan. Same with the Giants.
Right, because you haven't experienced the Super Bowl.
I was
so
a little
I get that.
too young. I was a little too young for the Super Bowl. Same with the Yankees in 2009. I didn't really catch any of that.
Right, dude. And
it's a little
how
bit before my time, but
spectacular was Tuesday. Like, I get chills thinking about it. That's how
easily my favorite moment as a Knicks fan ever, man.
Ever. And it's one of my favorite moments as a sports fan. And I mean, as a Knicks fan, it's easily the greatest win I've ever seen.
Yeah, 100%. And I got to tell you, I'll just give you a little bit of my backstory real quick. Like, I became probably a hardcore Knicks fan 2013, 2014, right at the end of the Melo run. Never really thought those teams were anything special. And everything I went through, I mean, all of us went through.
Right.
From 2014 till now. I love how you gave us all that history. Thinking about all that, I mean, I was a kid that was sitting there telling everybody how special Frank Ntilikina was going to be, how special Kevin Knox was going to be.
We've all been through it, Joe.
How Porzingis was going to be. How they broke my heart after they traded Porzingis after what I thought he was going to be. All that, and now we're here. It's like I can't even believe it. I mean, I honestly, I was one of the bigger critics of this team in a lot of ways, and I'll admit that. I apologize for that. Nobody gave Karl-Anthony Towns more crap than I did, and I'll admit that. But I just want to tell you one more thing. Like, I was listening to a podcast with the Wizards president, Michael Winger, and he gave me a great quote, and I thought about Cat immediately. I thought about Jordan Clarkson too. He said, these guys that are in the league, they're still writing their stories. Like, that, just because you think of them in a certain light and what they've been for the last how many years in their career doesn't mean that's what they are now. Maybe a new city, maybe a new team, they'll buy in differently, they'll play differently. I always thought of Jordan Clarkson as an inefficient shot chucker that never would fit in on a team like this. And now he's rebounding the ball. Now he's playing defense. Now he's taking better shots.
Yep.
I always thought of Cat as a liability on the defensive end, a really lousy decision maker. And now he looks like he's one of the better passing big men I've ever seen. It looks like, and he's no longer been the defensive liability that I thought he was. He's not perfect, but we could win with him.
100%.
I'm so proud of Cat. I apologize for everything I said about him, what he's done in these first 2 rounds, and now in Cleveland. I'm so proud of Cat. You'll never hear another bad word a Cat about from me. And yeah, I just wanted to tell you how excited I am finally getting home. ready for Game 3.
Let's go, Joe.
We're going to send these fools home in 4.
Let's go, Joe. Joe, awesome call, dude. Awesome call. Enjoy this.
You,
enjoy it, dude. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't enjoy it. I appreciate it. That was a great call, Joe. Awesome call. That's awesome. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter if you're 60 or 20 or if you're a 10-year-old, I'm jealous because you know what? You've been spoiled with this Knicks team. Joe's talking about Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox, and in my head, I could run through the names. Growing up, thinking that David Lee, that's it. That's all we got. And Jamal Crawford and Zebo, buying into it. And the aging stars, whether it's Penny or Tracy McGrady or whoever came through here. And the crap that we had to eat year in and year out. And not just on the court, but off the court. So Giants fans, when you hear me, talking about the off the court stuff, I've lived it with all my franchises. And just the bad basketball and buying it, watching teams that were so bad because I'm like, this young guy might be good. Or the missed draft lotteries or the terrible picks or Phil Jackson destroying the franchise because he was too busy getting high in Montana on peyote. And even the guys I loved I loved Melo. If it wasn't for Brunson, that was my guy. And guys joke around here. He's my favorite player. I think he's, one of the more fundamentally sound players. And then Brunson comes along and I not killed it, but I was confused why they went all in on Brunson. And then the OG trade. And not that I was giving up hope. I went to his first game as a Knick on New Year's Day against the Timberwolves. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, we wasted all our trade assets on that? And trusting a front office guy like Leon Rose, I don't think I've ever trusted a guy like that in my lifetime. Specifically with the Knicks. And when it comes to New York, I have very little happiness. The most happiness I have with a New York sports team is NYCFC. To put it in perspective, I am a Broncos fan, so most of my sports enjoyment has come from them or European football. Omar Minaya, I loved him, and then I hated him. And then I loved him again because Sandy Alderson took his team to the World Series. And look at David Stearns doesn't even get more than a year. But Leon Rose, even through all the doubts, has built something special. And it's special. It doesn't matter if you're 15 or 65. There is something special about this moment. Even if you saw, whether you're Joe B and you saw those early 70s, late 60s title runs, or you're a guy like me, this is special. And it's awesome. And I get emotional too. Tuesday when they won, I was like, this is crazy. And part of me, while I'm watching the game, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I feel like the game's over, but I also wouldn't be shocked if they came back. And embarrassingly enough, I was so desperate. I'm sitting next to my fiance and I grab her hand and I look at the ring and I start whispering to it. I'm like, with the power of love, please. Like I was Schmeagol in Lord of the Rings. Please do something. They did go on a run after that, so there's a little bit of magic now, even outside of the love. There's a little bit of magic there. But it's an incredible run. And the one thing I hate, and this is not just about Knicks fans, this is about sports in general in the social media age. Enjoy it. One team wins a ring. You may not see a team make a run like this for decades. Believe me, Knicks fans know. Enjoy it. Don't let somebody tell you, whether they're a Knicks fan or not, that you can't have fun, that you can't enjoy it, that you can't pump your chest out a little bit after a win, because you can. It's different when you're having fun, your friends, you're a Mets fan or a Yankee fan, and you're going at each other. But don't let somebody tell you can't enjoy this. Yes, it'll be a failure if they don't make the finals or they don't win the title, I mean. But it's still a memory. Those 90s teams won nothing. They did a lot of winning, but they didn't win the big goal. There's a lot of people who live through those 90s teams, and they're special to them. And this is a new generation, just like that. And yes, if they fail, it's going to sting, but you can enjoy it. And you're allowed to enjoy it. Everyone, it's so funny, because it happens a lot, I feel like, more with Knicks fans than it does with other fan bases. Yes, there's a party outside of the Garden every night, but don't be jealous because your team doesn't have as much fun. Yes, Knicks fans are crazy, sometimes delusional. Don't be upset because you don't know how to have fun. They haven't won anything yet, but we're still going to have fun. That's what it's about. And the funny thing is, as a soccer fan, European fans look at Knicks fans and they do sports right. We watch the World Baseball Classic and wonder why every other country has more fun. This is supposed to be fun. And Knicks fans get it. It's exciting. Tonight will be exciting. A win. They're 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. The first time since guys like Larry Johnson and Latrell Sprewell and Patrick Ewing and Marcus Camby were suiting up. Rick Brunson was still in the NBA. Guys who were coaching, Doug Christie was in the NBA. Tyronn Lue, he might have been in college, actually, even at that point. Guys that's how special this is. 888-808-1019. We'll come back. We'll get to your calls. We'll wrap up the pregame festivities before the Knicks tip off at 8 o'clock. And the great Ricky Ricardo comes up at 8 o'clock. Anthony Gallo on the Fan.
Jalen Brunson and the Knicks kept the good times rolling on the Garden floor and are out to a comfortable 2-0 series lead. Now it's on to Coach Mike Brown's old stomping grounds for Game 3 tonight in Cleveland, where he'll look to get his squad one step closer to playing for a championship. The latest breaking Knicks news, the biggest Knicks opinions, and the most trusted voices delivering them all live here. Your home for New York sports is 101.9 FM, WFAN.
Looking for something cooler this season? Head to Big Snow American Dream for real snow, indoor slopes, and fun for the whole family. Ski, ride, or tube year-round. Plan your snow day at BigSnowAmericanDream.com.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3?
Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
It's the Memorial Funbelievable event at Nielsen Dodge.
You can lease a new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram for $299 or under.
Choose from hundreds of new Jeeps, Chryslers, Dodges, and Rams.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $299 a month. Yes, just $299 per month.
Or choose from hundreds of certified pre-owned vehicles. Plus, we'll give you top dollar for your trade-in.
Under $299, that's Funbelievable.
Drive away today for just $299 or under on Route 10 in East Hanover, online at nielsendodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Declaration of Deal Sales Event. With approval, term 36 months, due at signing, $52.99, add tax time, $498 NOC, and DM fee.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just
driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
ServPro, cleaning, restoration, construction like it never happened. Call 1-800-ServPro.
La Playa awaits this weekend. Be sure to stock up on ice-cold Corona at Penn 6 on West 31st Street. Then sit back, relax, and soak up the good weather. Great vibes and New York basketball. Turn anywhere you enjoy the game into your own beach. La Playa awaits. Must be 21. Relax responsibly.
Come out to Yankee Stadium on Saturday, June 6th for a very special night. Military Appreciation Night. The first 18,000 guests will receive a red, white, and blue Yankees t-shirt, courtesy of Ford. Don't miss the action and help us salute those who serve. For tickets, visit Yankees.com/tickets. That's Military Appreciation Night on Saturday, June 6th.
Summer's a gift. The gift of days that last a little longer. A brighter state of mind. So gift yourself a new Kia at the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. With specially tagged vehicles including the Sorrento, Sportage, Carnival, as well as the Niro Hybrid. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So the gift of summer can keep on giving for summers to come. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 6/1/26. See dealer for warranty details.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. After years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works. With Red Pocket Mobile, you lock in your rate and you keep it. No price creep, no sudden jumps, just straightforward pricing and premium 5G plans starting at $10 a month. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
It's been over 7 years since Pastor Billy Richards was treated successfully for prostate cancer by Perlmutter Cancer Center, the world's #1 cyberknife program. After 5 treatments in 1 week, Pastor Billy went right back to leading his Brooklyn congregation.
Cyberknife was truly a blessing for me, my family, and my ministry. If you have prostate cancer, I urge you to look into Cyberknife.
For an appointment, call NYU Langone's Perlmutter Cancer Center at 833-1-CYBER. That's 833-ONECYBR.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Fun is in the driver's seat at Nielsen Dodge. Get a great deal on the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram you really want, with 0 down payment available, plus the credit help you need. Shop online at nielsendodge.com. Declaration of Deals sales event.
This is Sal Licata. You definitely don't want your AC system to fail this summer. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts. Have them check your cooling system now. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They are the real deal. Go to edisonhvac.com.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Oh, Anthony Gallo back on the Fan. For like 20 more minutes until the great, the iconic, the legendary Ricky Ricardo. Also, in the intro for MLB The Show this year. His home run call. Very cool. This Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. We'll get back to the Knicks in a second, but the World Cup is right around the corner, and Team USA can't get eliminated from this one right away. They had automatically qualified, and they do have a roster. Obviously, it was reported. It's not official until Tuesday, whatever time. They were going to do a big announcement, but now it feels like all the win was taken out of that one. But there was one omission that I feel like they have injuries, and then just like everything else, you can only take 26 or so guys on the roster, 23. I forget what it is exactly. So guys are going to miss out, but they are severely missing a holding mid in Tessman, who plays out in France for Lyon, Tanner Tessman, who has been great. He's been a little banged up, but he's great. But him missing the roster and them carrying 10 defenders feels like a major loss there. But the roster otherwise is not that shocking. It's an unimpressive group, and it should be exciting. They definitely should get out of their group stage and hopefully sneak or steal a win in the knockout stage. But, the hopes I had for this group, 6-7 years ago is not the same as I do now. But still exciting. Even though all the outside noise, it's been a disaster. When these games kick off, we're all going to be locked in. Those of us that care, obviously. I know this is not the place for that, but that is our Chef IQ fan focus. So go to chefiq and check.com to check that out. But back to the most important theme of the day, the most important topic of the day, Knicks Eastern Conference Finals, Game 3 against the Cavs, up 2-0. With a chance, we're about 30 minutes away from tip-off, with a chance to really up the excitement. Because if you go up 3-0, I know, you got to lose like 2 games at that point in a row before you start to worry. And this doofus, Draymond Green, doing the pregame. I love Mike Breen, Lisa Salters. I love the Inside the NBA guys. But the ESPN getting the broadcast where we got to hear Draymond Green and Richard Jefferson and Tim Legler just word vomit all night. Enough. And I actually think Richard Jefferson does a great job when he would do the net games. He is brutal sometimes. And they miss so much during the game. But none of that really matters because you can always turn the sound off and enjoy it. But as long as Chuck doesn't guarantee anything, I think we're good. 888-808-1019. That tips off in a bit. Back to the phones we go. Teddy and Yonkers, what's going on, Teddy?
First of all, Anthony, you're great, and I want to wish you mazel tov on your engagement.
I appreciate you, Teddy. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anthony, the Knicks, it's phenomenal. They're going to beat Cleveland, Anthony, whether they sweep or goes 5 or even goes 6. I don't think it will, but, Anthony, they're going to win. But here's my question to you. With all of the hype and the excitement and the aggrandizement of the Knicks and how people feel throughout the city, how do you think it will feel? And I hope, God forbid, if we don't win the championship, if we lose to
if they get to so you're saying if they get to the finals and lose?
Yes. What will we think of Brown? What will we be thinking of the Knicks? What will the people be thinking?
That's a good question, Teddy. I mean, I hate to think about it, but
I know. Sorry if I asked you.
It's all good. It's all good. It's easy. It depends. If they go out there and get embarrassed in 4 games, I think we're going to feel bad. I think we're going to look back afterwards, 2-3 months down the line, and be like, man, what a season, and get excited for what's coming. And maybe there's that level of we'll never be able to beat that team if they go out there and if they lose and it's 6 or 7 games, but they're hard-fought games. I think we're going to say it's a disappointment and it's going to suck, but we're going to be like the next year is going to feel like we still have a chance because these guys aren't going to be out of their primes. And I appreciate the call, Teddy, and thank you for the nice words. I don't even want to think about that right now. I think if they get to the finals, you cannot switch up this team drastically. You can't. If they lose in 6-7 games, you got to run it back and get better off the bench. That's what you have to do. You can't go out there and get rid of OG Anunoby and Cat to bring in Giannis when you were 2 or 3 wins from an NBA Finals. I just can't see. You're not firing the coach. But I don't even want to put that juju in the air. I don't. Listen, OKC is an excellent team. The Spurs are a very good team. I like the Knicks' chances against the Spurs. I'm sorry. I know the regular season doesn't mean much, but there's one thing. The way, it's a funny thing to look at because we talked about it last year when he was hurt. Mitchell Robinson is such an X factor in certain aspects. And if they want to hack a Mitch themselves to the NBA Finals, let them try. But Mitch gives you something that a lot of teams don't have. Rudy Gobert gives you this. Jared Allen doesn't give you this. Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet don't give you this. They give you a beefy, strong, athletic guy, a muscular guy. That's what I mean by beefy. That is gonna, you're not gonna stop Wemby, but he's gonna be a guy who frustrates him. And I mean, I don't see the Spurs getting past the Thunder. After last night, I just don't see it. They were up big to start that game, and the Thunder stormed back very quickly. So it's going to be a tough road, but I definitely think, I'm not saying they're going to be favored, the Knicks can beat the Thunder. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but there were a lot of people who thought the Thunder were just going to run away with the NBA this year. There were a lot of people who didn't think the Knicks were going to get to this moment. There's a lot of idiots out there that thought the Pistons and the Sixers and the Hawks were going to be the team that got in the way of the Knicks. There were a lot of people out there that thought Jalen Brunson was holding the Knicks back. But let's get there and then figure it out. Mitch in East Windsor, what's going on, Mitch?
How's it going, Anthony? Congratulations. All the best.
Thank you. How are you, dude?
Engagement good. Good luck. The kids and everything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
So what do you want to talk about, dude?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I'm not worried about Cleveland. I mean, they got James, Ball, and Shane Harden there, so he'll do what he does
exactly.
every other team. And I remember when the Knicks, and I'm getting older too, when they got Patrick Ewing, that was our Victor Wembanyama, because he was incredible, especially in college.
Well, right. And I mean, he also was at that time, the position was starting to morph into guys being more what we look at today as a changing of the position. That was also a generation where guys like him and Hakeem were, they weren't shooting threes, but they were able to take shots and set themselves up in a mid-range, and their footwork was impeccable. And it wasn't just being the tallest guy on the court.
Right. But one of my favorite Knicks is Larry Johnson. But Patrick Ewing just...
that was my first favorite guy. My first favorite Knick was Larry Johnson. He was old when he got here, but that was my guy growing up.
There's a few guys I never understand how teams can let them go, and he's one of them. Shaq. But the Knicks just came on when you had to go on top 3 plays and top 20, top 20 plays gone. Elijah Alwan, and I messed up that name, and Michael Jordan. Always they would have had a couple of rings.
Right, and Mitch, great call, Mitch. It's tough too. I mean, we've all got the trauma. That's for sure. We have so much. The Knicks have Amari, and you get Melo, and Amari's never healthy, and then there's people who think they overpaid for Melo, and then you have a magical run with Jeremy Lin, which it was just a run. It was 10 games. He was never the same player after that, and we miss out on Zion and John Morant, which actually feels like a win now for the Knicks, and they all the lotteries, and we don't draft Donovan Mitchell, and we don't draft Tyrese Halliburton. And the funniest thing is, you traded away KP, and it felt like a disaster. And you didn't get Donovan Mitchell, and you don't get Tyrese Halliburton, and name the next guy that they didn't get. And they're getting Mitchell and Halliburton and whoever I'm trying to think of another guy in another draft that they didn't get that we could cry about, and they might end up being a team that gets a ring before those guys. And the Halliburton stuff stinks because I did think we were in for an all-timer last year before he got hurt. As much as I hate the Pacers, it looked like we were in for an all-timer. And he'll be back next year. And it's really sad that they didn't get that top 4 pick and they lost the pick. But it is what it is. There is the Knicks have a window here. This is their best chance, obviously. Duh. But they are going to come out of this year, and it's not over. The window doesn't shut if they lose. You can never guarantee you're going to be back. That's true. But no matter what happens in the finals, the window doesn't just shut in that moment. But get it done this year. Why wait? Get it done tonight and on Monday. Get to the finals, and let's start the party. 888-808-1019. Tim in Atlanta. What's going on, Tim?
Hey, Anthony. Love your show.
I appreciate you, dude.
My first memory of the Knicks was watching them against Detroit with King, Sparrow, Tucker, Cartwright, and Grunfeld. So I go back that far. I'm also a Met fan and a Ranger fan. I'm not overconfident, but I feel
you. I feel you, Tim.
I feel very good. There's something about this team. We just got to take one day at a time. I'm not pessimistic, but they can bounce back. Even tonight, Cleveland's going to come out roaring. You know it.
And it's survive the initial wave. And then
That's right.
Now after they're going to get punched in the mouth early, I agree. When they punch back, that's where Cleveland's fallen off. And that's where they're going to have to prove that they're not, which I think they are, the mentally fragile team that they are.
Agreed. And that's where the depth of the Knicks will come into play. That's where the bench will come into play. And they're going to wear them down over time. Will it take 4? Will it take 5? It may. Okay? But and we can't worry about Oklahoma City. We can't worry about San Antonio. Let's get through this because this team 100%. Is very talented.
Let's enjoy this each step of the way. Great call, Tib. Let's enjoy this each step of the way. I don't want to think about the what ifs in the finals. I want to get through this, get some rest, and let me enjoy the Western Conference Finals as we rest up and we get that excitement builds. We're 10 minutes away from tipping. I'm getting excited right now. Thankfully, and listen, I was supposed to be on 7 to midnight, and Mother Nature came in and rained out the Yankees, and I felt like a little bit of it was for me. The self-centeredness of myself. I thought it was for me. So I could watch the Knicks tonight and enjoy it. And it's going to be awesome. Let's enjoy this. Remember that. No matter what happens going forward, enjoy it. You may never get this shot again. Joe in New Jersey, what's going on?
Yeah. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about Karl Towns.
Yes, sir.
I actually went to the same high school as him many years earlier than him, but I watched him play in high school. And his high school team had, besides himself, 3 other Division I athletes, and 2 of them that were drafted in the first round in the NBA. But what you noticed when he played in high school is that even though he was 7 foot tall and could dominate, he was a team player. He passed the ball. It wasn't all about him.
Mm-hmm.
He moved the ball around. The things that he's doing exactly now for the Knicks is exactly the way that guy has been geared to play. John Calipari, when he recruited him for Kentucky, said the reason he recruited Karl Towns is when he went to recruit him, he would watch him play in the summer leagues, and he noticed that he played in summer leagues where he wasn't the star. And that's what enticed him to bring him on to Kentucky.
Right.
Finally, the Knicks are doing what is his best asset, and that is somebody that can pass the ball, somebody that doesn't have to be the number one guy. And, and I've been listening to the fan for a long time and kind of get frustrated all the time when they say Brunson, Brunson, Brunson. And I'd be sitting home going, pass the ball once in a while. But that's what Towns is doing now. Well, and that's the Towns that's been that way since he was a high school.
At St. Joe's. Yeah,
McDonald's All-America.
Right. I appreciate the call, Joe. And it's a good point. Just because we're up against it, I want to get a couple more people in. It's a good point. It's not even that when he struggles offensively or he's in foul trouble. They're sticking with, obviously, it's the 2 of them because you don't know which way you're going. It could be Brunson initiating offense or Towns. But even when he struggles to get the buckets or whatever it is, he's still a threat to pass the ball. And it does force teams to respect him because he can knock down the 3 also outside the arc. And yes, he's been able to get his points down low. And what they've done more is when, specifically in this series, you see with Harden covering him, and they've done it in the second round as well, is when a guy is on him that is not a big man, somebody under 6'9" or whatever, they've been getting him in the block. And when it's somebody, a big man on him, they've been forcing that guy to come out in the arc because it's now opening up the floor for everybody else. It's opening up the floor for Brunson. And then vice versa. Now, when Brunson does initiate the offense, it's creating a confusion and a dynamic where Cat could get to his spot or OG could get to his spot, Bridges, whatever it is. And the focus you have to keep on your toes because you don't know which way you're going. There isn't just this stagnant, we're going to run the ball through one guy and then initiate the offense. It is a versatility. Let's see if we can get a couple more of these guys. And we're not going to be able to get to all of you, and I'm sorry about that. Hollywood and Brooklyn, what's going on?
AG in the hizzy.
What
up? Congratulations, my guy.
I appreciate you.
First time calling, bro. I got to tell you, have a voice for the radio, and I'm in college right now.
I got a face for radio also.
I'm in college right now, about to graduate soon from Full Sail University.
Congratulations, dude.
Thank you. I'm trying to come to WFAN ASAP. Anyway, I ain't here to talk about me personally. Do you think I got a couple little things real quick. First of all, shout out to Coach Mike Brown and the adjustments he made after that Atlanta game. That was the best thing that ever happened to the Knicks because it took away the cockiness from them.
Yep.
Them losing those two games by 1 point took away the cockiness from the Knicks.
They had to get punched in the mouth real quick because we're up against it, Hollywood.
Do you think, let's just say now, the Knicks don't win the championship this year, and we all know that Giannis wants to come to New York so badly, do you think this is going to start back up those talks of maybe getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns and this one and that one?
Yeah.
Where you think Milwaukee, want to hear what you got to say about that. And again, congratulations, brother.
Thank you, my man.
Love to you, many blessings.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the love, dude. Thank you. That was really kind. It's going to happen. They could win the title. It's still going to happen. I truly believe that. Because then there's going to be the notion, why not go get them and win 2? But let's not think about that. Let's enjoy Game 3. Let's get a dub. It's going to be fun. Enjoy it. They're 2 wins away. After tonight, they'll be 1 win away from the NBA Finals. Shout out to Connor Green. Shout out to Paul Rosenberg. Coming up next, Ricky Ricardo. I'll be back Monday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to preview Game 4. Talk about the Mets and the Yankees. All that, but stay tuned. Ricky Ricardo is up next. If you want to hit me up, reach out to me on X, Pico_Day_Gallo, or just search Anthony Gallo, WFAN. Or hit me up on IG, Pico to Gallo 24. Shout out to the YouTube chat. Let's go, Knicks. A big one tonight. Enjoy it, New York. Let's go.